we're back with the Horrormongers, part 2 of our Halloween disaster. Also, we are holding open interviews to replace Brad. We don't need him to be part of the Horrormongers. In fact, we have our good friend Tim here.
Hey, everybody, I'm back. Woo!
The new Brad, if you will.
Yeah, he's replacing Brad.
Are you going to say anything?
I could never.
No, I'm not
Brad.
here anymore. It's fine.
I could never replace Brad.
I'm fine.
I could never drink that much.
I'm like Ross on margaritas. I'm fine.
This is part 2 of our episode that we should already be posted. It was a Halloween special that kind of got interrupted by a party.
Yeah. That was unexpected.
Yeah. Totally unexpected.
Such an unexpected pre-planned party.
No, actually, what was unexpected is how many people showed up on time.
Yeah,
that was weird.
Like,
but
who
that was
shows up to
great,
a party
too.
on time.
the best part is the people playing with the dog upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like
let's throw this ball around.
having a marching band going on upstairs. Yeah. So today our poor planning has resulted in a kind of a special. We're going to do 2 episodes in 1 week. This should be airing on the 31st, which is
Halloween.
The poor planning means you get a bonus, listeners. There you go.
There we go. So this should be a full episode. We're going to do like we normally do.
Say bonus.
Bone us.
Okay.
Boner.
It's a bonus bonus.
Bonus, please.
We're taking requests on that too.
The theme for today's episode, much like the other episode, is Halloween, the history of Halloween, superstitions, such. We're going to finish this up.
Not going to spend as much time geeking out about Halloween the movie.
Yeah.
Although we might still geek out a little bit. It was a great movie. But
That was a good movie. Zach gave it a 10 out of 10, if I recall.
I gave it an 8 out of 10, I think.
No, he said 10.
I gave the same score you gave it.
Yeah.
I think he gave it
Well,
11 out of 10.
I'm pretty sure Matt was the only one to give it a 10 out of 10. I'm going to give him a high five again.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which, apologizing, shout out to Jason. I know he actually talked on the thing about why we didn't give it a 10 out of 10. I think we should actually address that in the news, why Brad didn't give it a 10 out of 10. That's like really for shame.
Why?
Because
What?
it's a perfect movie. I gave it a 10 out of 10, remember? No, I already told why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10. I'll say it again, but I told why on the Facebook group.
Well, while we're on the topic, I want to say something, and I didn't tell you guys I was going to say this, but I do need to say, I need to take something back. I said I was going to choose my words carefully last time, and clearly I didn't, because I said, anybody can come back from trauma, it's no big deal. It is a big deal. It absolutely is a big deal when somebody comes back from trauma. I was just, raised around a lot of strong women, and a lot of people who can do that. I mean, it's what I'm trying to say is it's a big deal when anybody comes back from trauma. Just hope that is clear. It's a big deal if you can come back from trauma.
Whatever, Tim.
Yeah.
Tim's already used his word limit for this episode. So.
See you later. Bye.
Speaking of trauma, I'm traumatized by Tim right now. Talking about trauma. I was actually the person who complained about that. I was very offended. No. So we will talk about that in the news section. Nudes. Again, we're going to go through the whole rigmarole. I'm using that word twice.
Wow.
I know. I love that
That's
word.
a lot of
You just need to
syllables.
sneak it in every time.
I know, it's a new word.
Word of the day.
Well-
Rigmarole.
Yeah. Word of episode 4, too, I used it.
Yeah.
With the episode about Slappy Spaceship or whatever her name was.
Slappy spaceship. Silly Sputnik.
So let's go ahead and let's go about the news.
News.
You and Matt have
News.
something that I wasn't invited to because apparently I'm not important enough.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a second.
I wasn't there either.
I'm so ready.
Okay, I know you are. First things first, let's talk about Trick or Treat. That's right. Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
I'm going this year.
You're going this year again?
Yeah.
What are you dressing up as?
I'm going to go as
Sexy nurse.
I'm going to be a spooky ghost.
Like Charlie Brown with like 1,000 eyes.
Yeah.
Messed up with the scissors.
Oh yeah, that was
I just watched The Great Pumpkin the other day.
Yeah, that
actually.
was Pigpen.
What was he?
Yeah. had like a million
Pigpen,
eyes, yeah.
No, it was Charlie Brown who had a million eyes. Pigpen, you could just tell because he had a cloud of dust
Yeah,
around.
that's
Did he
right,
also have
yeah.
8 legs? Was he a spider? Was he a
No.
spider?
No,
The
he
ghost
wasn't.
of a
Brad.
spider?
You need to go back and watch some Charles Schultz. It's all right. Christmas is coming up, so we can watch the Christmas.
I guess I
Charlie
need to
Brown.
go back
Yeah.
and watch it too.
Why do people keep talking about Christmas?
Well, I mentioned it once last
People love
episode.
Oh my
It's
God.
like tomorrow.
It's the Halloween episode.
Yeah, that's as I said last episode. It's the Christmas of us, right? We love Halloween.
Anyway,
Christmas.
how was Trick or Treat or the movie?
The movie. So this is an anthology. We're going to talk about this mainly because I want to make Brad uncomfortable because he was supposed to watch it or rewatch it and he didn't.
I've seen it.
Yeah, well,
of course I've seen it. It's a classic.
He didn't rewatch it like he's supposed to. So we'll see how much he remembers from 5 years ago when he watched it last.
Yeah.
This is the reason we chose this is it's really it's kind of like Halloween, the movie, the season of Halloween, the movie. It's
by John Carpenter.
Yeah, it's an anthology. It has 3 or 4 stories with
4.
It's all in the same world.
Yeah,
they all
they're all
kind
tied
of
together.
Yeah. The first one starts off with a couple that are coming back from a trick or treat party or a Halloween party or something.
Yeah, and she's being a bitch and just absolutely hated it. And
and the husband goes inside to get ready for certain stuff.
For what? What do you get ready for?
While she was finishing cleaning up, and then she hears a noise, and we meet the kind of the antagonist of the movie, Sam.
Sam, yeah,
which is short for, as we talked about yesterday. You spell Samhain.
Samhain.
Samhain. So Sam Hain or whatever. So Sam is supposed to be the spirit of Halloween.
Samsonite,
swammy, slappy.
I knew it started with an S though.
So he's the main thing. You'll see him, and I think you see him in every short anthology story.
Yeah,
he's the thing at times because he's the spirit of Halloween.
Much like in All Hallows Eve when Art the Clown was in all of them.
Yeah,
I love Art the Clown.
Art the Clown. Well, yeah, he's one of my new favorites.
Can we talk about Terrifier again?
Yeah.
Oh, Terrifier, so good.
So you have Trick or Treat. It's an anthology. It got a lot of recognition when it first came out about 10 years ago. Got a lot of recognition. Great movie. I mean, he's kind of like another horror icon or a Halloween time icon.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away too much, but all the stories connect. It's the same world, and there's a timeline to it. And at the end, you see Sam and learn more about him. I'm just going to go straight to the rating because Brad doesn't remember anything about the movie.
I love the movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me something about it.
Yeah, it was great.
He can tell you he loved it.
I remember the kids that go into the quarry.
Yeah, the kids go in the quarry.
Yeah.
Go on.
They all died.
Oh my God, Matt.
I assume. I can't remember.
God, you guys are so good at not spoiling things. Okay, so I'm going to give it a score out of 10. For me, Trick or Treat is an 8. I love it. It's a great anthology.
Really?
It's probably one of my favorite
Yeah.
anthologies.
All right.
I was actually going to give it an 8.5.
All right.
Yeah, there's one of the anthologies I didn't like. I mean, I liked it. I just didn't like what they chose.
What was it?
Should I say? I might ruin it.
Maybe not then.
That's your MO. You ruin everything. Just go ahead.
I'm trying to be good.
Gave away the end of Logan and Halloween.
Yeah, what happens at the end of Avengers Infinity War?
Oh fuck! I mean, everyone dies at the end of Avengers.
So what's the thing you don't like?
I didn't like how the girls turn into werewolves.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they could have chose something better than werewolves. Because they're
didn't-
all sexy and seductive,
Oh, I
and
remember
then they
that
turn
now.
into werewolves, and I
You're
just didn't
saying
like that.
You don't think werewolves are sexy?
No,
Me and you have a difference of opinion, friend.
Yeah.
I feel like if they just were witches, I feel like that would have been better.
But they're animals. They're being preyed upon. That's the whole thing. I get it. I'm the same. I was like, eh.
But everything, all the other ones were really good.
Yeah, that was definitely the weakest. I agree with that one.
Yeah,
The best one being for me is Sam with the old man.
yeah.
That was the last one, wasn't it?
I think the
It was
werewolf
like
one was
in
the
it.
last one, actually.
No, it was
Was it Sam?
It was
Sam
in
with the old man. Yeah,
Yeah, the old man's house.
Yeah. He didn't obey the rules of Halloween or trick or treat.
yeah. So, fuck, I'm gonna give it away again.
He caught himself. He's learning. He's learning.
He's evolving. That's all we can ask. All right.
What do you give it, Brad?
Yeah, from what you can remember.
From what I can remember, I was going to give it like a 7.5.
Okay.
But I want to rewatch it. I mean, if Zach's giving it an 8, I definitely need to rewatch it.
I mean,
I
you
remember
gave the new
really
Halloween
liking
an 8.
Yeah.
I remember really liking it, though.
That was pretty much my next point before we talk about your stupid thing that I wasn't invited to. I want to talk about why we gave the score Halloween for what it was, because we spent so much time on it. I really think we should talk about why, because we really hyped it up, and yet we didn't give it a 10. At least me and Brad didn't. So Brad can defend himself. I already mentioned on Facebook, kind of, the group, why I didn't give it out of 10. I liked the retro feel. I liked everything. The last part irked me. The whole when they're in the cabin or whatever, it switched from being a horror movie to being too action oriented to me. I didn't like the role reversal and all that. I get that was the whole point. It just didn't do it for me. I like to feel like suspense and tension and scary, and so that last 10-15 minute section knocked some points off for me. There's good homages, as Brad would say. There's good homages that are going on.
Did you see all the homage?
There was good, there's good homages going on. I get that. I appreciated those, but to me, I just didn't like I didn't like the ending. That was the weakest part for me.
I know what you mean, and without giving too much away, I will say that there's a period at the end where rather than showing it from the victim's point of view and the victim shots, you're seeing it from Michael's point of view. Which, if you know, in classic horror movies, whoever's point of view you're watching from is not the point of view who's about to get killed. So Michael is like, it was kind of like, wait a minute, is Michael becoming the victim? That doesn't give anything away. I mean, it's still very much Michael's the serial killer of the movie.
Yeah, if you saw the previews, you know that Jamie Lee Curtis has been preparing this entire time.
They switch it up a little bit. It's interesting.
Yeah, but I didn't like it, not for multiple reasons. 40 years of training, and that's all she could do. Anyway.
You had 40 years!
Yeah. No, I like it. But it up. That's what kind of knocked it, because it switched from being horror, the vibe just switched to me. When they went to the cabin, the whole vibe switched. It quickly became less cat and mouse, more how are we going to kill, how are we going to stop him. And I like the whole Michael being more menacing rather than being more humanizing. Brad, why did you give it an 8 out of 10?
Well, I agree with you. But the whole point of the thing was supposed to come down to the showdown between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers.
Yeah, I get that.
But you're right. It did change the whole feel of the movie. And the way it ended... obviously, they're coming out with another one, so it's not exactly over. I was actually hoping for an ending to it all.
Yeah.
And so that kind of disappointed me.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, the ending was where it kind of tapered off for me. I loved the beginning, even though it was a little slow. I loved that because it's building up this build-up. And then once things kicked off, it was amazing until the last part. And I was just like, I get why they did it. It is a showdown and all that, but you don't watch Halloween for a showdown. You watch Halloween to see Michael Myers do insane serial killer shit.
Also, I think it's ridiculous how they had all those guns, and Michael only had a knife.
Yeah.
And they still couldn't just shoot the living shit out of him.
If you haven't, I think we mentioned this in other episodes, but Michael is not a supernatural being at all. Not at least in the...
Not considering
Halloween.
They've done it now.
Yeah.
I agree, but at the same time, in the original Halloween, the very first one, Loomis shot him 6 times, and then they pan back, and he's not in the grass anymore. So it's like, I agree. There's no part of the story that says Michael Myers is supernatural. However, that dude has lived through a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
he did get. He was shot in the new movie.
Yeah, well, in the original, do they explain what happened? Because he disappeared, but he was caught right away because he was in the insane asylum. Right. The reason why he disappears is because in Halloween 2, talking about the actual sequel, 8 years ago, it was a continuation of that night. So that's why it had him disappear. It was sequel bait,
and he went straight to the hospital.
Yeah,
he's like, I was shot. I need help.
Yeah.
I guess Laurie Strode was there too.
Yeah, and that's why they had to explain why he was so keen to get Laurie Strode. But
either way, it's still worth seeing. Definitely,
oh yeah, it's a great movie. I don't give too many movies 8 or higher out of 10. That's why Brad wants to see Halloween, or not Halloween, Trick or Treat, because I also gave it an 8 out of 10.
We don't spend 2 episodes or 2 parts of the same episode talking about a movie unless we like it. So.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. I'm just hard to please. Matt is a whore when it comes to giving out reviews, apparently.
You review whore, Matt?
10 out of 10!
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was good. Great
But
movie.
now that you guys are talking about it, you ruined it for me.
Yeah,
Now I give it
well-
a 5 out of 10.
You have some good points.
Nerds.
Now we're gonna give you shit for lowballing it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, talk about your stupid thing that, again, I was not invited to.
Oh, so Matt and I did a really stupid thing. It was so awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
So, recently, the Mystery Science Theater 3000 Live came to town.
Yeah, they had their 30-year anniversary.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We got to go, we had VIP passes, which we actually got to go in beforehand. We got to meet the original host, Joel Hodgson,
Yeah.
and the new host, Jonah Ray. And
The robots.
Yeah, the robots. Yeah, it was phenomenal. We got pictures with them, and there was a whole Q&A session, and then they did the actual movie segment, and it was really interesting because they did it kind of like a game show.
Yeah.
Where they were doing a riff off.
See who does the best.
Yeah. They had their own team. Since there was 2 hosts, they had their own robots, so they picked robots, and the 2 hosts and their robots were on teams, and they had a riff off, and they got points, and they did this whole thing with it, and it was hilarious. I mean, if you're a fan of the new series and a fan of the original series that, with Joel in it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
What
it.
movie did they show? Do you remember the name of it?
The Brain.
The Brain.
The Brain. Okay, all right. For those who don't know, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is really, it's like an icon at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I have a lot of nostalgia because I watched it when I was a kid. Like, it was on, you guys know what channel? I mean, I know it was on...
It was on Sci-Fi.
It was on Sci-Fi they showed it?
That's Sci-Fi or
Yeah.
Comedy Central. I think it was
When-
on both.
When I was watching it, it was on Sci-Fi, but it transferred over to Comedy Central.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That makes sense. I remember watching it, like, because I remember watching it, I think it was like the mid or late 90s when I was watching it. Maybe it was mid-90s. I was at my grandparents' house, and I just have a lot of nostalgia watching this weird thing as a kid, especially. It's so different.
It's so different. I mean, I remember coming up, and I was in high school. My buddy had the DVDs of it, and he would put it on every time. We'd be playing World of Warcraft or some video game that
Hell
nerds
yeah.
play, and he'd put that on the background. And it's like, I never really caught on to it until recently. I went back and rewatched some of it. It's like, this is clever. This is
Yeah.
really
It's
like
really funny.
This is worth a watch. If you've never seen Mystery Science Theater 3000, give it a try.
And the new series is hilarious because Joel is actually a part of it again. I didn't realize when Joel left, he was never actually a part of the whole thing.
Oh yeah, he still is.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
when Joel left the original series.
Uh-huh.
So he left, and Mike came on. I didn't know that he wasn't a part of it at all. But Joel wanted it to come back so bad, they actually revived the series with Jonah. And I thought Jonah was a perfect pick.
Yeah, but why Joel not become a host again? Why did
Joel left. This is actually part of the Q&A. He left because he and another person in the show, I can't
They
remember
had
who
some
it was.
creative differences.
Yeah.
okay.
So he thought it was better for the series itself if he left,
Much
so
like
that
much
the
like
series
me and you,
would
Brad.
continue.
Oh, is that big
It's gonna be a
news
game
coming
of
up?
chicken.
Yeah.
Let's see who leaves first.
We're sliding Brad out and replacing him with Tim. So
No. I'm gonna be the behind the scenes guy who just shows up every once in a while.
yeah, I mean Tim's already been the behind the scenes guy. Too.
Yeah.
Like he's
Tim,
gonna be more on here.
I love these guys, love horror. Might as well just show up every once in a while and be in an episode.
Yeah,
Who
we're
knows? I might be in the next 5. You might not hear me for 5, but I'll be around. I might just be under the table.
Man, he's really
Not
excited
giving
that word
hand
limit.
jobs.
I thought we talked about the word limit, Tim.
I'm sorry, I've got like one word left.
You're not to exceed
Boobs!
Matt's word limit.
But God, I don't even know where I was now.
No one cares.
I'm sorry.
No one cares about Brad.
Joel had
Creative differences, yeah.
differences with one of the other guys, and he left the show for the best interest of the show. Then that's when Mike came on.
Right.
But I think Jonah's done a fantastic job with the new series.
Yeah, from what I've
Joel's
seen.
actually a part of it. He's actually in the show, which not many people know about.
What is he in? What is he?
So
Is he like a segment, or is he play himself, or is he play another character now?
No, he is a character.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's a writer. He might be one of the writers.
Probably, or at least
but he's actually a character in the show. You know, the guy that goes, "Movie in the hole," and he pulls the lever.
Yes.
That's Joel.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he said that once, and they used that same recording
Pretty much.
30 times.
But he's in it.
Yeah.
You don't see his face.
Just real quick, for those who don't know what Mystery Science Theater 3000 is, you guys are lame. Really, I mean, at this point...
No, you are. You really are.
They
we don't even like you.
They watch classic, or I should say,
They're not
terrible
classic.
movies. Not classic. Old.
We'll
That's
say
a better
old.
word.
Yeah.
Classic is a whole nother
Vintage.
thing.
Vintage B movie, terrible horror movie, or science fiction movie.
This is where the fish lives.
Yeah. And you know how you and your friends might be watching a horror movie and you guys kind of like make jokes, at least I know the three of us do, four of us, and Tim's here.
The whole reason B movies are invented.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they do. They make riffs and they make fun of the whole thing. You can see their silhouettes, and it makes terrible movies good.
Yeah.
I like it. I wasn't invited because apparently I'm too cool for school. So
Too cool for school, but he teaches school, so
yeah,
whatever.
that's probably why I wasn't invited. I assume
Well, there is also a thing called riff tracks
riff
that
tracks.
the other guys from Mr. Science Theater do.
Oh, I think Joel's a part of that.
Oh, is he a
that
part of
like,
that?
I think so. But
Well,
Mike,
I know,
Mike is one of the main hosts.
yeah.
It's Mike and the original voices of the robots. I
Yeah,
believe.
Dr. Forrester and
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know
what's
their
the
actual
other
names.
guys?
Only we had the
I don't know
internet.
their names.
Yeah. Well, they do newer
Anyway.
movies if you download them.
So they still have that going on.
Yeah,
But now,
they still do that.
But I mean, now that Mystery Science Theater 3000 has been revived on Netflix.
No, Rift Tracks is still a thing.
Yeah, still a thing.
It's not a show, and they don't show their silhouettes or anything. It's just audio recorded over these
Yeah.
movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have to download the audio and then I think
Watch the movie.
Yeah, watch the movie.
So you like sync it up like Dark Side of the Moon to
No,
Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, exactly.
I think you can buy the Rift Tracks version online.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you just buy the Rift Tracks version of it.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure
Obviously,
that's how it is.
I'm
but,
not
you know.
as big of a fan as you two. I like it. I just don't. I don't
Yeah.
like.
Oh, we've gone to see Rift Tracks in theater before.
Yeah,
which
we
is a
saw
lot of
Samurai
fun.
Cop.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
And that was interesting because they were showing the movie and then they would show them recording it off to the side every once in a while.
Uh-huh.
So it would show the full movie. You would hear them playing over it, and then they would every once in a while minimize the movie a little bit, and they would show them in the background recording it. It was really interesting the way they did it, and it was hilarious.
That's cool. I wasn't invited to that either. Apparently.
That was a few years ago.
Yeah, I've only known you for a few years apparently.
All right, so
Who
if you're
are
out
you?
there, if you're out there and you haven't seen Mr. Science Theater 3000, go ahead and check it out. It's cool.
It's on Netflix. Are all the
Yes.
seasons on Netflix?
Yeah, the new one.
I know the new
The
ones
new
are.
series
and
is,
old.
is Netflix picked up the new series.
So do they have all the old ones?
The
on there?
original series, they have
Hulu has it.
they have
Okay.
several episodes. They're selected episodes.
Pick it up. It's a great thing to watch in the background while you're doing other stuff too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Because you can just pick up on the joke here, joke there. There's
Yeah.
just joke after joke after joke. It's like a machine gun of jokes.
yeah. When we watched it, we did jokes on top of their jokes. That's how meta we are. That's how meta we are. All right. So do we have anything else for nudes?
Well, Tim hasn't got nude yet, so
Taking it off.
Oh my God. It's so small, so incredibly small.
not his boobs though.
Fuck you guys.
I didn't know you had them pierced. Nice. So, nothing else new with. We didn't really watch.
Since the last 3 days.
Yeah. We didn't really watch any movies.
Dealing with a hangover.
Because, yeah. Oh yeah! Thanks to anyone who listening who came out to the party. We really appreciate it.
Such a
that was
fun
a
party.
great time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
We had a great
that's
time.
news. We had a party.
Yeah, a party.
I mean, we talked about it, but it didn't actually happen yet. So
If you follow us on Facebook, you probably saw our group costume, which killed it. We got
Yeah.
so many. Oh, it was great. Yeah, Leahy and Ricky and Bubbles, and Sarah. Yeah.
yeah,
that was so much
Great.
fun.
I'm still rocking the sideburns.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, you are.
I
I'm still rocking the clean shave.
I actually got a lot of compliments at work
Are you gonna
about
keep
it. No.
By the way, you guys can't see it, but look at this. This is from when I shaved. I already have this thick of a beard.
Oh my god.
Where are you? You're like Teen Wolf. Jeez.
I am. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
It's crazy.
My mustache is nothing compared to that. I'm growing the mustache, listeners, for November.
What do
just
they
so
call
everybody
that? Like a 30-day shadow within a few hours.
Yeah. Oh, this is like, I haven't shaved in like, I shaved the day before the Halloween party, so it's been about 5 days.
Damn.
This is 5 days without shaving.
Well done.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself.
Good for you,
Good
sir.
on you, sir.
I got to send a pic. I got to post a picture up just to show everyone how impressive my beard is.
do
That's
it.
the one thing I can do in life.
Hey, we have an Instagram now. I can take a picture of it and we can post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, we have Instagram now. Oh yeah, follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on
yeah,
Instagram. Follow them on
Yeah.
Instagram.
I think we talked about it last time, but
Yeah.
we have an Instagram now.
We're trying to grow a little
So we're posting pictures of nudes.
bit. Yeah.
You want to take a picture of you, Zach?
Sure.
Show your
Take
5
a
o'clock
picture of
shadow.
my beautiful face.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm striking a pose.
We're currently taking pictures.
Jeez.
For all you listeners that can't see this, it's a fun time.
Fun time. I already took pictures of Brad.
This will
when he
be
was
on
sleeping.
Instagram.
Do you have access to our Instagram and I don't?
I don't.
I wasn't given permission to.
No, Matt doesn't have access, so that was just for his personal
Ever
file.
since
I didn't know we had
nude
one
leaks
till
that I
today.
accidentally posted nudes of all of us on Twitter. I've not been allowed to
Hold on,
post
so
on
none
Instagram.
of
Why do you have an archive of nudes of all of us?
From that one night, you guys got really drunk. You don't remember?
Zach's actually installed a bunch of cameras in all of our homes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
You've seen some gross shit.
God, I have.
No, you're welcome, Zach. You're welcome.
I love when you guys do the dishes. Anyway,
Quote unquote.
yeah. That's it for the news. Let's go ahead into the meat of our podcast or
Let's beat our
episode.
meat.
Meat.
Let's beat our meat.
So last episode we kind of rushed due to people showing up on time.
Those bastards.
Yeah, seriously.
Who shows up to parties?
Yeah.
They knew we were here, so they were like, we gotta show up.
We even had a sign saying, "Shut the fuck up! Don't make noise. We're recording." It's paraphrasing it, but it's roughly what it said.
Everyone was too excited to get here.
Yeah. So,
Which is a good problem to have.
yeah, last episode we kind of talked a little bit. We're going to do a quick run through what we did talk about, just a quick refresher, because it's been 2 whole days since you guys have probably heard this.
For the
Halloween,
very first time.
yeah, Halloween through the ages. I talked about. Remember, it was Samhain or. Give me the lighter. No, Brad's playing with a lighter again.
No!
Okay. God, I took away the pins already. I did. He was playing with pins earlier.
He's still got the whoopee cushion, though.
Yeah, I have to be his mom.
That's how I cover up for when I fart later.
It's the damn whoopee cushion.
Just give me your back pocket.
Brad!
Like, what's this?
So Halloween was originally called Samhain or Samhain, or that's how it's spelled.
Salmon.
But Samhain is what most people call it.
Sam Hell.
Sam Hell, yeah.
That's why people say, oh, what did Sam Hell?
It was Celtic, originally celebrating the
way.
harvest. Things die in November, thus the dead and all that. Christianity got a hold of it, just like they did Christmas.
Everything.
Everything, really. Easter, too. That should be an episode, even though it's nothing to do with horror. Although it could
Christianity.
it's horrifying.
Still
I
and
read this a
everything.
few days ago. I'm so bored.
Yeah. Christianity took a hold of it. It was Halloween was originally outlawed in America, but eventually it will become legal. And we talked about the Irish had a lot of impact on Halloween as we have it today.
You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job while we pass around. We're tasting a beer that Brad just opened.
So I'm gonna go ahead.
This is delicious beer that I haven't
I'm gonna
tried yet.
now I'm gonna start with the new stuff, and it's kind of new because I talked about Dracula last week, but again I flew through it.
Yeah, you get into that nude stuff.
Yeah. So again, Dracula is literally translated in Gaelic as Drac Ula.
Oola!
I want to fuck you. Oh my god.
I want to fuck your blood!
That was a 40-inch penis if I've ever heard
Yeah,
one.
really.
I was looking at Tim right in the
Yeah,
face. So I was
he's looking me right in the eyes. I want to fuck you. That was the funniest thing to ever happen.
That's why Tim's here.
I was trying my accent.
Yeah, he was
great.
looking dead in your eyes, wasn't he?
I'm not. Well, let's just move past it. Just move past it.
I want you to. So Dracula, it means bad blood. It's the literal translation. Count Dracula was created by. I'm asking you guys at home.
Oh, the people who made
Bram
Count
Stoker.
Chocula.
Count Chocula. That's correct. Tim is correct.
Bram Stoker. I actually read that book. I'm literate.
Bram Stoker. Do you know who played? Who do you know who was actually in the movie version of Dracula?
Was that
Oh,
Bela
I should
Lugosi?
know this.
No, he was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Matrix, though.
Was it?
What?
The actor was in Bill and Ted as well as The Matrix.
Was
Oh,
it
did he play
Keanu
Death?
Reeves?
Keanu Reeves, yeah.
Wow.
What? Yeah, Keanu Reeves was in the movie. Terrible accent, just like mine, kind of. He looked right in my eyes and he's like, I want to fuck you, bud.
thought Bela Lugosi played
Fucking
him.
all the blood.
He didn't play Dracula. Keanu Reeves didn't play Dracula. He played what's his face, the human protagonist. I always forget his name.
I thought Bela Lugosi was in Dracula, though.
This is the 1980 version.
Oh.
Not the Bram Stoker's Dracula's been done to death. I'm talking about like the 80s version.
Oh.
He won I think he won a Razzie for that. Like he did so bad. Like watch it.
What,
It's
Keanu
called-
Reeves?
Yeah, watch it.
Hold on. You're saying Keanu Reeves is a bad actor?
Well, no,
really?
What?
Okay, well,
Really?
On top of that, he does a fake accent, a fake English accent.
Ugh.
And it's bad.
Is it like Cockney? Like, oh, Governor,
Yeah,
I'm Keanu Reeves.
Dracula!
Again, he's not Dracula. Keanu Reeves is not Dracula. What's his
In
face from
real
Star
life?
Wars is? Isn't Palpatine?
Christopher Lee?
Christopher Lee? Yeah, Christopher Lee, not Palpatine. Christopher Lee is Dracula, isn't he? In the 1980s version?
Oh,
I gotta
yeah.
go back.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You're right.
I was born after the 80s.
Me too.
That's hilarious.
We're all in our
funniest joke
mid-20s,
ever.
by the way.
What's a Pearl Jam?
Christopher Lee is like one of the most badass people that ever was.
Yeah, I miss. May he rest in
Didn't
peace.
he actually like fight Nazis in World War II?
I don't know all the stories, but I know he was in a metal band. In his,
Yeah,
like,
he released a
90s.
metal
Yeah,
album
no,
like 2 years
He was
before
the
he
oldest
died.
person to ever put out a metal album at 90 years old.
And he was Dracula.
Yeah.
So, and he was Count Dooku.
And I'm pretty sure he fought Nazis in World War II.
And he might have been a Nazi in World War II.
Maybe he was both.
He was both. Played both sides.
Excellent actor.
So Count Dracula is a fictional character in the novel. He was inspired by one of the best-known figures of Romanian history, Vlad Dracula, also nicknamed Vlad Tepes. I've heard pronounced both ways. I've played Castlevania. Might be tapes.
TVs?
In Castlevania,
Check out all our
it's-
TVs.
I don't know. He's also known as Vlad the Impaler. That's how everyone knows his name.
That's a great porn name.
Yeah, I'm going to let Tim tell the joke, but he's known as the Impaler. Why?
Is it ass to mouth?
Yeah.
Is that where you're going?
Pretty much.
Ass to
Oh,
mouth.
hold on. Are you talking about my joke that I said last
Yeah,
episode?
that's
that's
Brad's.
Tim.
No, I'm not
Tim,
stealing that
wow.
from
Tim
Brad.
totally came up with that joke.
But also, Brad didn't come up with that joke either. That's
No.
been around since Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad the Impaler.
You know what? Because Tim's trying to get me out of the show. I'm going to go pee.
Oh, Brad's pulling a mat.
Oh my god! Every episode we have to have one of us.
I call dibs after Brad.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Here we
so
go.
during his 6-year reign, Vlad the Impaler committed many cruelties, hence establishing his controversial reputation. The main thing he did was impale people. He put them on a spike, like a wooden spike on the ground, from the ass, and let them slide slowly down into their anus up to their mouth,
It's just
hot.
like shish kebab.
sounds horrible.
Terrible way to die. You weren't dead as this is happening. You died during, so like it was torture.
I mean, that's like sounds like worse than anything I can imagine.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would honestly feel like being burned alive might be better than that. Like being
definitely.
burned alive
Yeah.
is supposedly like the worst way to die because your
Definitely.
every nerve ending in your body is screaming in pain. But
Yeah.
seriously, like that
'Cause
sounds horrible.
it's not a quick death.
Yeah.
It's a slow death as you slowly slide down.
Yeah.
I did want to mention this. There's rumors that he drank blood.
Jesus Christ. Make more noise back there.
Matt's peeing now. That wasn't a joke. He decided to pee. There's rumors that he would drink blood to make him immortal and all these things because of his cruelty. He was seen as these
I
rumors.
thought that was a fact.
He didn't actually drink blood, I don't think.
No. Do you not become immortal by drinking blood?
God, I don't know. You get AIDS that way.
Shit, I need to stop doing it.
Stop drinking my AIDS-ridden blood. I've been telling him that for years.
All right.
So, Dracula is the most famous of the vampires. I did want to mention this. He's also seen as a hero in some of the Romanians, the Ottomans, see him as kind of a hero. So I don't know how if it's been over-exaggerated how cruel he was. But the impaling part, he definitely did. Also, I believe he killed his son and his dad, I can't remember, it's been so long, because he walked in on them and he believed that they were like sleeping with his wife or something.
I wanted to make a very funny political joke right there, but I don't want to get into it.
You don't want to get into it?
You don't want to erase half of our audience that's already like at
Gone.
4. You don't want to get rid of 2 of our listeners.
Yeah,
2 of you guys
after you
listening.
made me watch all those rape movies, we had to do a rape-themed episode. I didn't want to, but you made me. All right, so that's all I have really on Dracula. I'm gonna go in quickly on vampires. you've probably heard all this before. It's really common knowledge where the idea of the vampires sleep in coffins and
But
all
you
that.
already were doing vampires.
Dracula!
Yeah.
Vampires!
Vlad
fucking
goes-
blood!
Vampires and Vlad go hand in hand.
So when you die, certain parts of you still keep growing, like your fingernails and hair can still grow. And so occasionally, after someone died, they'd open up the coffin or exhume it, and they would see. They go, "Wait a second! When he died, his fingernails were normal length. Now they're long."
Is that for real?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Obviously,
Yeah.
he is still alive.
Duh.
Fuck you guys.
Everyone
I'm supposed
knows
to know
that.
everything about
Yeah.
cadavers, really?
I just
Yeah.
patronized everyone saying that you should already know this, and you're like,
Yeah. Your hair and fingernails keep growing. They're dead skin.
Yeah.
Dead skin
Okay.
cells.
So anyway,
Okay.
so they believed that they were still alive, and so thus that they had to be killed through a stake through the heart, which was made popular by Bram Stoker. He's kind of one who kind of piloted this whole stake through the heart thing.
Should have called him Bram Staker.
Bram Stoker.
I can't get any fake laughs from you guys for that one. Really?
Nope.
Then
terrible.
there's the other popular thing where Dracula may have been Judas, bringing some Christianity in here. The idea was that's why they don't like the cross. The idea was that after Judas betrayed Jesus, he hung himself. If you know anything about the Bible, I know you guys are
No.
big Bible readers. Judas hangs himself, hanged. One of those is the right way.
Hanged.
He was hung.
And apparently,
He hanged himself.
He was well hung.
apparently the
while he
last
Wait,
thing he
is there-
saw.
I think there's a difference there.
There it is. The last thing he saw before he died was both the cross and the sun setting. And so that's why supposedly vampires do not like crosses, and that's also why they can only come out at night. Supposedly.
I mean, nocturnal animals are definitely a thing.
Yeah, that's the other reason too. I'm talking about like when Christians got a hold of vampires, they changed it around.
They bastardized it.
Because things that happen at night are scary, right? Night creatures are scary. So
Just the dark is scary.
yeah, I still sleep with my lights on, sucking my thumb. Sucking Brad's thumb. We sleep in the same bed. I get scared at night.
We play
Night
Nightcrawlers. It's old Charlie Frank situation, you know.
Yeah. All right, let's go over to Matt. Which thing you want to talk about? Let's do. We kind of got through trick or treating. We stumbled through it.
Oh, just a little bit.
Let's go back to Mad Scientists.
Yeah.
Let's do Mad Scientists.
Okay.
Yeah. You had another guy, right?
I did have another guy.
Does he also zap people by their nipples?
Did he also stick an electrode up a bum?
Yeah, you said
No.
he did that. He made dogs alive and all that. We covered. It's like Al Dente. That's his name.
Oh, or Aldine.
Al dente!
His first name's Al, last name Dente. Al
It's kind of
Dente.
like my pasta, but
Aldini. Yeah, was he the one who did the electrodes?
Yeah, he did the electrodes.
I think we left off there on the next one. Jack. Wait.
Jack Parsons?
No,
Was
we
that the
tried. We were in the middle of Sergey. We'll start with Sergey.
one? Sergey.
Don't even ask me.
Yeah, okay.
Sergey.
Brucento.
Brukenko.
If only you'd looked up how to pronounce it like I did.
I refuse to finish this
Teepees.
episode until we learn how to pronounce it correctly.
Okay, shut it off.
Pull the plug.
Okay, so I
That's a
didn't,
lot of consonants.
I didn't say anything on this guy.
Yeah, talk about him.
Okay,
Like how
he was a
Matt's the guy.
Soviet scientist, brought important advances into open heart surgery.
Hey.
He did grisly experiments on animals.
Best kind of experience. Grizzly
Yeah,
experiments.
Yeah.
You know.
Like on grizzly bears.
Yeah, did he do grizzly experiments on grizzly bears?
Well, I should point out he made the
it
first
was
heart and lung machine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Heart and lung machine.
Oh,
so
like-
the iron lung or
Yeah.
whatever.
Lung, yeah.
And so him and his team successfully removed a dog's head and kept it alive by hooking it up to the air and blood supply apparatus.
Yeah, I've seen videos of this. I think.
Yeah.
Do you have what year? Because I want to make sure it's the right one. I've seen like black and white videos of the
Well,
dog.
Yeah,
Just by-
that's actually that's it. Yeah,
Just
Just
by
by hearing
yeah.
blood?
So
you can look. He videotaped it.
yeah, he
Wow.
videotaped it.
You can see it's
What
creepy as
year
fuck.
was this that he had the ability to videotape it?
I mean, videotaping is not like super new. I mean, it existed during FDR.
Over a century old.
It existed. Yeah, Edison.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It existed. I mean,
Okay.
movies have been around since 1900 whatever.
I need to
Silent
study
films.
my history.
Yeah,
Silent films run then.
1800.
Oh,
late
yeah.
1800s.
Okay. Okay.
teens.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah.
Okay.
There's a video on it, but
That's where Nickelodeon
it's-
comes from. It costs a nickel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Not the channel Nickelodeon. Nickelodeons were actually the
Yeah.
machines that you...
But I just didn't think a scientist who was spending all his money keeping dogs' heads alive would also have had the money back in the day
Well,
videotape.
you have to show proof.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, that's
But
interesting.
you can look it up. It's kind of creepy if you look this up. It's really creepy.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
creepy.
I think it's a German Shepherd's
very-
head.
Yeah.
I think it's a German
And
Shepherd.
they have
Wow.
he has like little eye drops for it too to keep its
Yeah.
eyes moving.
God.
Did you watch it, Matt?
Oh yeah, I did
Was it
Research.
creepy?
I
Was
did
it
like
creepy as shit?
I did my 2-minute research on
I
this
really
guy.
want to look this up.
and using the cameras I have installed in his apartment, I saw him put his hands in his pants.
So
He really got off on it.
did he kill this dog and then do the experiment on it?
It just shows the dog's head.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, it doesn't show him killing the dog.
but he did.
So
kill
where the
dog
hell
for
else would he
this?
have got
Yeah,
the dog's head? Are you kidding me?
You get him
Yeah,
off the
he-
street in Chinatown or whatever.
He removed its head.
I really want to watch this film. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, that's
But-
that's
Yeah.
disturbing.
Jess, if you're
I have to
listening to
watch
this,
it.
I'm so sorry.
Does she listen to her podcast?
No, she won't.
God.
She hates us.
Does anybody listen? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, the only one who listens is right here.
Yeah, I'm
Tim.
right here.
Really, it's just an incestuous
why he's on
thing. We
here.
all just listen to each other. All right, so
And another thing I put down was another dog. He
another dog. There's
Great.
more than one.
yeah,
dead
I mean
dogs.
he was in
Let's
the
keep
dogs.
talking about
yeah.
dead dogs,
Kill
man.
all the people you want. Get out of the dogs. though.
Yeah.
He's a mad scientist for a reason.
He had
right?
another one that he drew all the blood from its body and later brought it back to life.
Ooh, like a reanimator?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
Did he
dun,
put
dun.
the blood back in to bring it
No,
back to life?
he just said brought it back to life.
Brought it back to life
With
using
no
some-
blood in its body.
using
Well, he had
syrup.
the-
I don't know about that. That
He had
sounds
the,
crazy. How is that possible?
What did Wikipedia
Hold on,
say? 'Cause
hold
it's
on.
obviously.
Let me get the old laptop out.
Tim, would you say it sounds mad?
I get it. Guy was angry, so he took all the dog's blood.
This dog doesn't deserve any blood.
I don't have blood. No one.
Crazy.
So he brought him back from
I'm
the dead.
so glad
Yeah,
we
we're
went
back
back
from
to
the
that.
dead.
I'm going to look up all that shit. Wow.
I can't wait to watch you on my cameras in your house.
Dude, all right. You're taking it a little too far.
I will also watch those.
I am starred. Like my favorite scenes, I have them written down. Tim watching Jane Fonda
got 'em,
workout
like,
videos.
Here's where Tim takes his shit every morning.
He's got like a whole VHS collection with him chronicled and everything.
Damn straight.
You got any more mad scientists?
I think I might hand it over to Brad.
Hand it over to Brad. 'cause
Oh,
this
that's
is-
it?
What was his last topic? So he wants to save some mad scientists, I'm guessing.
What about
Well-
all the Nazis?
You don't have any more mad?
All the Nazis.
Yes.
I don't know any Nazis.
Magilla.
Magilla.
Magilla Gorilla.
Magilla Gorilla.
Mangala was a big. We literally
Wasn't
told.
he the angel of death?
Yeah, I literally remember me and Brad both went up to Matt when he said he wanted to do mad scientists, and we're like, Matt, look up Mangala.
Oh.
The angel of death.
He did not. Cool.
I did not.
I'm very pissed.
Also a very
Sorry,
popular-
I kind of did like unknown names. That was kind of like the
Yeah.
extent of my
All right. Cool.
findings.
Fair enough, fair
You
enough.
are a Slayer fan,
Yeah.
and you didn't think of the angel of death.
No.
All I know about
I'm just trying to find
all I know
other
about Mangala
names.
is he was obviously Nazi, so obviously horrible experiments on the Jewish people during the Holocaust, and he also worked with, I think, cloning. That's why you have the.
Why they gotta be Jewish, man?
I don't know.
Why not?
I didn't start the fire. It's always been going. So he fled when he fled to Brazil. There's like an island of twins there. They're called the my God,
Sounds like
There's
paradise.
an actual island of twins?
a land of not an
Sounds
island.
like paradise, right?
Right?
Yeah, most of them are men.
Brazil?
Most of them are men.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
What's it called? The Brazilian boys. There's a name for them.
Oh, they were all men?
Yeah, there's like a.
Oh.
He's trying to clone Hitler. So yeah.
Oh, I remember that they referenced that in Archer. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of the Brazil boys.
Yeah, they there's like a documentary on that, and like there's like a town that has like a very high identical twin population, and they think that Mangala may have went there to do some of his experiments. So I don't know. I would say it's something to watch. You can definitely watch his experiments. Oh my God! It's Brad's turn to talk, and he is currently getting cheese, stuffing his mouth full of cheese.
Yeah, how could you not expect us to bring up the fact that you walked away to get some cheese?
I can't ignore the cheese.
It smells so good.
Yeah, you were putting it in your mouth
The
as you're
Charlie,
supposed
the
to talk.
Charlie of our
Oh,
of
is it
this
my
show.
turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I can talk with cheese.
All right, let's hear it. So, talk about, what are you talking about, witches?
Hold on, let me chew my
If
cheese.
you guys don't like the loud sound of chewing, turn off right now.
Yeah, I got witches.
Oh, God, I can smell the cheese from here.
What? I don't know why I sounded like John Travolta. Yeah, oh my god.
That sounds more like my impression of John Travolta than actual John Travolta. But whatever.
Oh my god, I got these witches, you know.
Jesus H.
Sandy.
Witches.
All right, so witches. Well, as we all know,
Salem.
drink. They be bitches sometimes. Actually, no.
Rhymes.
Witches are actually pretty cool, like in the actual world. However,
Keep on going, Professor.
All right, yeah.
I'm trying to get through my notes here. Like I got all messed up.
Not so easy to teach.
They were thought to be pagans doing the devil's work, which back then paganism was considered, a bad thing.
Yes.
Witches were actually natural healers or quote unquote wise women whose profession was misunderstood. I have a thing here that I had to look up on my phone. I'm not even going to go through that.
Cool.
But witch hysteria really started in Europe in the mid 1400s.
So before America even came to be, there were
oh yeah, witch has been around for a long time.
Well, I mean, I know that,
Witch
but I
is
mean,
old.
the lore of witch trials.
Yeah, where do you think America got it from? They're all like...
Actually, hold on.
Where did America get anything from?
Yeah.
Either the Indians or I'm sorry, the Native Americans or the Europeans.
Yeah, not the Indians. We can get anything from the Indians. Just the
Actually,
Native Americans.
I don't know. There's probably a lot of other influences in America, too. I need to study my history.
So, yeah,
Me too.
mid 1400s is when witch hysteria really started. Many witches were confessed under torture.
Yay, torture.
That's fun. Within a century, witch hunts became common, and most of the accused were executed by burning at the stake or hanging.
Yeah, fun
You say
fact.
hunt with an H?
Or cunt.
I didn't want to say it, and I knew Matt would. Wow.
You baited Matt good.
I baited that so good.
Matt's like, I'll say anything.
Fuck yeah, I will.
Do we have a bleep button?
We really need one. Between you and the R word.
Do I dare say it
I
again?
feel like that one deserves a bleep button.
Yeah, I got just as much heat coming for me for baiting him into it.
Yeah. So keep on going.
I'm a master baiter, dude.
Fun fact before the C word. Oh, I'm going to throw up. Was said,
So offensive.
burning at the stake did not happen in England. You didn't burn at the stake in England.
Actually, a lot of this was done in like France. And Germany.
Yeah, Romania, like Balkans.
Yeah.
The Englanders would hang. The English would hang people. They would never burn. That's why, except for Joan of Arc. That's because
Joan of the Arc.
Joan of Arc saw herself as a French person, so they decided to kind of like, you know what, we'll treat her as a French woman, and we'll burn her at the stake. The English did. So, good story. So burning at the stake for witches was not commonplace in Western Europe, except for in France.
Yeah. So between 1500 and 1660, up to 80,000 witches were put to death in Europe. I don't know how to read numbers, man.
Up to 80,000.
80,000.
There was 8 and a bunch of zeros afterwards.
80.
No,
Hold on, we count
math
the
is
zeros.
hard. Math is hard.
So, as witch hysteria decreased in Europe, it started to grow in America. Probably the most well-known events to do with witches are the Salem witch trials, which I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
What's a witch?
What's a witch?
It happened in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692 was when it started. It started when two...
Slave girls?
What?
I was finishing a sentence. I knew the story. 2 slave girls.
Yeah, two
Tabitha.
sick bitches.
Yeah.
Actually, it's no two.
That's not slave girls. That's sick bitches.
Actually, it says 2 ill girls.
Yeah, one was like Tabitua or something like
Did
that.
they have a license to do so though? To ill?
To L? I got the license to L. Yeah.
They claimed to be witches, and they accused many others of witchcraft.
Right.
Around 150 people were accused, and 18 were put to death. And these were just during the Salem witch trials.
Yep.
Other states such as Virginia and Connecticut were a part of the whole witch accusations. One of the most famous witches came from Virginia. Her name was Grace Sherwood.
Good for her.
She was brought to trial in 1706, accused of killing her neighbor's pigs and hexing their cotton.
She probably did it. Let's be honest.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe.
really.
I mean, they wouldn't just accuse someone of being a witch for no reason.
Yeah.
Or it was John Travolta from Carrie killing pigs again.
Hexing their cotton?
Yeah, making it not grow.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think hexing means?
Oh,
No. What do you think hexing means?
No, I know what hexing means. Cotton comes from sheep.
You're not saying what it means. You say you know what it means. We're not telling you what hexing means.
No, I'm saying cotton comes from sheep.
Yeah, I'm saying use hexing in a sentence.
Kidding.
What's the definition of hexing?
Oh my God, Zach! I'm trying to make a joke here. Stop making me look stupid.
That's part of the joke, but now
Hexing
it's
is,
serious.
hexing is like putting a spell on
It's a
somebody.
dark spell. Yeah.
Okay, curse. Yes, thank you.
Oh my God, I played.
We
Magic.
really went that long just so
Really?
like we could
Really?
find out it's a dark curse.
Yeah, because Bram's like, oh, I don't understand how you can hex magic or hex cotton.
I play the game of Magic. Don't let anyone on the. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Keep going, Brad. Keep going, Brad.
She
You're
hexed
doing
the cotton.
great.
She hexed the cotton.
What's that
And
again?
she killed the pigs. She did the things. So to determine whether she was guilty or innocent, the court decided to use a water test. Now,
love
this
the water
might sound
test.
familiar to you.
Why are you looking at me?
No, because you're the one that said,
Tim,
"Oh,
do you
I
test
didn't know
water?
that this was the thing over in Europe."
Oh, okay.
This might sound familiar. So the water test was they bound her arms and legs, and she was thrown into a body of water. If she sank, she was innocent. If she floated, she was guilty.
Ah,
Much like in
Monty Python.
Monty Python.
Yes.
Yes.
See the witch!
Yeah.
What are the things that float? A duck! Great movie.
If she didn't sink, she was convicted of being a witch. So
Did like almost everyone.
Grace was eventually put in prison for 8 years. She was actually never murdered. Well, or
I'm guessing did she
executed,
put
I
to
should
death.
say.
Let me
Yeah,
guess.
put
Did
to
she
death.
admit to being a witch? Do you have that?
That's not in my notes. I don't think she was.
So no, I know that, but here's the thing: most people admitted to being witches because if you admitted to being a witch, you weren't put to death.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
really?
the ironic thing. Yeah,
I'm
I'm talking about in America.
I
Like
don't-
during the Salem witch trials and all that in America. If you would just admit to being a witch, because there's such a small period of window where all this
Yeah.
witch mania was going on.
So
The
this-
entire witch thing doesn't make sense at all. Like, it's just bullshit.
well, they
Anyway.
believe witches made pacts with the devil. They'd sign a name in the Satan's book, and then Satan would go to Pound Town on them. Seriously,
Going to Pound Town.
and then that gave him powers. So I mean, that's the
put
original.
curses on people, make
Yeah.
people sick, and
You'd sign your name in a book, Satan's book. Did I just
Well,
steal your thunder? Did you,
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No, I've got
Sorry.
more. I've got lots more.
History guy. All right.
Yeah. No, I've got 50 more pages.
Yay.
So,
You're
if
reaching
ready
your
for-
word limit.
If you're ready for 3 more hours of witches, I'm going to now go into modern witches, which practice the religion of Wicca, which is probably more well known
Yeah,
these
I mean,
days. You know?
okay, yeah,
It's a pagan religion about worshiping the earth and nature.
yeah. Mother
It's-
Nature. It's a very feminine. Like they worship the something goddess.
Well,
Wicca is
One of them, yeah, it's a pagan.
yeah,
religion,
but Wicca is a very feminist type thing. They worship like Mother Nature, very feminist. Not like in the term we use today, but I'm talking about like how Taoism is feministic. It's very motherly. Very
I didn't know
motherly.
Taoism-
Mother Earth, and
Taoism, that's a whole other thing. It's not literally a mother, but it's very feministic Taoism. Go with the flow, be kind to others. That's what they call feministic.
Okay.
So, fun fact.
Is that feministic? Be kind to others is feministic these days?
No,
Yes.
it's more.
I'm not calling you out. I'm just
compared
saying.
compared to Christianity, which is very masculine, where we go and kill anyone, take the land back. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yay!
so it's better than Christianity.
Oh my God! No, you're not going to beat me like Tim beat you.
Yeah, I don't want to go into that.
Yeah. Let's talk about Muslims, Jewish people, and Christians and Wiccans.
And
which
for
one's the
our
best?
7-part series, we're going to talk about religion.
Let's rank them in order.
We're going to have to do this outside because I'm going to need some cigarettes and a lot of whiskey.
No, but seriously, everybody should be kind to each other.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck yeah! I mean, everyone should be doing that already.
So,
Dick.
He looked right at me when he said that. You guys couldn't see it, but like, I'm the dick.
fun fact, Wicca was actually founded in 1954. It's not a very old religion.
Yeah.
By a man named Gerald Gardner.
A man came up with a
Yes.
female.
Yes.
Good. I mean, there's male practitioners. I'm not saying they're all, but it's very
Yeah.
feminine.
So,
wait, what
What's the
year?
word?
1954.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Fairly
it's relatively
new,
new.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Wicket is a peaceful and balanced way of life that promotes oneness with all that exists.
There you go. A very feministic viewpoint.
Yes.
Instead of taking over things, we believe we should live together in harmony. So would you say Wiccans are evil witches, or would you say they're a peaceful religion?
Not at all. They're very
bitches.
peaceful. It was explained like in the beginning they were peaceful. They were shamans.
Yeah.
They were healers, and then people were like, I don't know. They came up with a story like, I think they were bored,
Yeah, probably.
and they're like, we need someone to blame stuff on.
That's how the Salem Witch Trials are. Actually, that's all other things. Salem Witch Trials is like people wanted better property and they were jealous of each other, so they started blaming people who had more things than them.
I believe
and
that.
calling them witches so they can get their stuff.
It's like how the Nazis blamed Jewish people on stuff. Like
Yeah.
they didn't do anything wrong. They
Or
were just
the
like, we need someone to blame stuff on.
Or the Egyptians when they blame the Jewish people,
Yeah,
or the Middle Easterns when they blame the Jewish people, or when anyone ever blamed the Jewish people. I feel like there's a commonality going on.
all witches are Jewish.
Yes. I'm going to add a couple things to the witch thing
That
that
makes no sense.
I find interesting about witches. I'm going to add a couple things. One, do you know why they supposedly ride brooms?
Oh yeah, actually, I didn't write that down. I did.
Okay,
Wait,
cool.
hold on.
You know
Did I
it.
write that in my notes?
Oh my god.
Hold on. No,
Almost don't need notes.
something.
Something you know it.
I've actually heard a couple of things.
Okay,
about
what's the
this.
one you? If it's different, I'll say mine.
Well, I heard one that was kind of a whole thing about they would put LSD on their brooms and then kind
the
of
one I
like
heard.
penetrate themselves with the brooms.
Are you sure this is a credible
Oh,
site?
yeah,
No,
is this just a
and then-
fantasy
no,
you had, Brad?
www.witchesbebitchin.com.
Brad,
I think this is
you're going to have to
someone-
send me a link to that porno.
I think this is something someone told me years ago. They're like, "Oh yeah, they penetrated themselves," and then later they thought that they could fly. No, but there was another thing where
I like it.
people,
No, that's it. That's it right
No,
there.
it did have to do with hallucinogens and levitation.
Yeah, a lot of commoner, it was just commonality. It kind of evolved because commoners all had brooms, and brooms they always had brooms on them. And guess what type of people were accused of being witches? Do you think it was the wealthy elite or
They were
the poor
definitely
commoners?
peasants.
I'm going to say
always
wealthy
peasants.
elite.
And since peasants were accused, they'd often have brooms, and guess what else they often wore? It was in fashion. It was out of date because they used to.
Hats.
Yeah, very like cone-looking hats.
Yes.
That's why they're seen as that because that used to be a peasant. Originally, it was the aristocrats would wear them, but they came out of style. So after anything comes out of style, kind of like a hand-me-down, the peasants got a hold of it, and so the peasants began wearing these hats, and so that's why those hats are tied to witches because witches were generally seen as peasants or outsiders, whatever you'd want to say. Also, why what started the whole water melting witches?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. just like
High five.
just like it started the whole thing that witches be green and gnarly. That was the Wizard of Oz.
That was the
Wait,
Wizard.
seriously?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
originally in the movie, the Wicked Witch was not supposed to be green. She's supposed to be normal, like a normal color or whatever.
Really?
But because it was Technicolor, they really want to show off all the color, like
That makes sense.
like the ruby slippers instead of being
Really?
silver and all
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, so they made her green,
Okay.
and that kind of
So
stuff.
she wasn't green in the book that
No,
L. Frank
I don't
Baum wrote.
think so. Because there's a lot of changes in the book he wrote in the
Okay.
movie. Because obviously there were silver slippers, which is all about.
I know the book is much more violent than the
silver?
movie.
In the book, yeah, there were silver slippers.
Really?
Yeah, they weren't ruby. Again, they want to show off all the color.
Yeah.
The silver slipper. It's
By the
a
way, I've
whole
seen those
message.
things in the Smithsonian, and it's,
I saw them too.
Yeah, they're fucking sequins.
Yeah. What'd you think they were?
What a jip!
I was horribly disappointed.
I wanted them to be real rubies.
Yeah,
Damn it! I wanted them to be fashionable and
yeah. I was like,
expensive.
this is bullshit.
You couldn't tell that they were. I don't know if you're joking. Like you couldn't tell they were sequins in the movie.
When I was young and I went to see them in the Smithsonian, I'm like, what is this?
I'm gonna make the biggest heist ever. Get away with the ruby slippers.
I'm pretty sure I started the whole, what are those?
All right, so I guess we're going back to me to talk about the next thing, which is werewolves.
Yeah, you do what you want.
I do what I want.
Shit.
I am. We're replacing you anyway. This so werewolves.
Way to sneak off.
Yeah, Brad stealthily goes to go to the bathroom yet again. Boy. Okay, let's talk about werewolves.
Oh!
Werewolves. Let's start with the name werewolf, because everyone.
Where are they?
Where are they? Where are the wolves? No, were actually means something. Were means it's an old archaic Middle English from like the Middle Ages. Were used to mean human or man.
Oh.
It's out of date now. We have English, but were, W-E-R-E, meant man. So literally, if you take the definition, were wolf, it means man wolf or human wolf.
So what if you do were-man?
Were-man.
You got the man-man.
Man-man. So that's where the name werewolf comes from. So where did this pop up? Let's start with the Dark Ages before we go even further back.
Hold on. Would that be a Wenwolf then?
A Winwolf?
If we're going back in time?
Who I wear Winwolf?
Which wolf?
So the idea of werewolves popped up in the Dark Ages. And this generally popped up due to villagers believing that evil people like witches could transform into wolves and eat their livestock. So basically, werewolves started off as witches.
We already did witches.
Yeah, I know.
Go on.
But witches could transform and they would become werewolves. That was the original. It wasn't a full moon. Had nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do with a werewolf bite.
Wait, really? That witches would become... So they're like druids?
They can transmogrify, whatever you call it. Polymorph.
Transmogrify? That's got to be a made-up word.
No. Well, no. I didn't make it up off the top of my head. So they can turn into like animal-like creatures, werewolves and stuff. That's the original werewolf. Another infamous case. This is an infamous case of werewolf execution. They caught a man. He was a German man named Peter Stubb. It's spelled like stump, but it's actually pronounced stub. They caught this man, Peter Stubb. Peter was supposedly caught by his neighbors in his wolf form. Now, back then, they believed werewolves, all you had to do to become a werewolf was to wear the skin of a wolf or a wolf belt, like a wolf skin belt.
I feel like that wasn't uncommon.
No, but apparently they could do it. Also, they said that drinking water from a wolf's paw, like, paw prints. If you drink water from a paw print, you can become a werewolf too. Originally. These are original where it came from. So, Peter Stubb was caught by his neighbors apparently in his wolf form. And after he reassumed his human form. So, they saw him in his wolf form, but they captured him in his human form. He probably was never a wolf to begin with, but who knows. Peter confessed to murder, rape, and cannibalism. His mistress and daughter were torturously executed immediately after he was.
Fuck, that's...
Yeah.
Jesus.
They were killed because he was caught guilty. Here's where it gets fucked up. That wasn't even the part where it gets fucked up. You know why they were executed, the mistress and the daughter? For having knowledge of his crimes and sex with him. Both of them.
Whoa.
Listen to that, the daughter and the mistress. Yes, his daughter was executed for being raped by her father.
What the fuck?
Middle Ages be shitty, y'all. So because she slept with a werewolf, even though it was against her will, she was executed along with the mistress. What is worse than that? Her father had killed her brother and eaten his brains before he was captured. And this could be the reason why werewolves are seen as these cruel, vicious monsters, because they believe that he was caught in his wolf form. This is where you get like the monstrous werewolf from. Like why they eat people and all this is probably from Peter Stubb. He was the most famous thing. You can look him up. It's a really interesting case. It's really screwed up because his daughter and mistress were killed for being essentially victims.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you teach this to your class at school?
I may have taught to high schoolers. Not using these words.
High school's changed.
I dance around the subject. I let them come up with it.
I've seen it. He literally dances.
I dance around the subject.
Now that is fucked up, though.
Yeah.
That's wow. How little sense could they have had that they would kill the daughter?
Again,
it's
the Middle Ages. They were bored. They had nothing else to do.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, I don't know.
They didn't have Game of Thrones to watch.
Yeah.
They didn't have any of this shit.
It was also Germany. It's not like the Germans are known for being the most hospitable people.
All the peasants had was starving.
I mean, I'm acting surprised, but there's people in 2018 who vote for Trump, so boom!
Ooh, we don't want to get political.
Not to get political.
That's okay. That's
Trump is my best
far.
friend. He's a leader of our free country. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm not sorry.
I don't care about that.
I'm not sorry either.
Okay, so let's go a little further back. This is the last part of the werewolves I want to talk about. Here's another place where werewolves could have came from. Have you guys ever heard of the term lycanthrope?
Yes.
Lichen, but
Or
not
lycanthrope.
Lycans, yes.
You know where that word came from?
lycanthrope.
Came from King Lycon, a Greek king. He was from a Greek city-state. He was a king. He offended the gods by serving them human meat at dinner. The gods apparently came to him and he served them human meat. He wanted to trick them and kind of disrespect them. Jupiter, aka Zeus, punished this transgression by transforming Lycaon into a werewolf, apparently. In his werewolf form, he could continue his abomination of eating human flesh with less offense. Because he served the gods human flesh and he himself would dine on human flesh, the gods punished him to turn into a werewolf so he can eat human flesh without offending the gods.
So they punished him by giving him what he wanted to let him eat human flesh with no restrictions.
Well, I mean, he's no longer a king. I mean, you're a monster, so...
Yeah. Horrible god.
And the final reason where werewolves could have came from, and this one's probably the most likely, werewolf myth was probably created to explain rabies. Right? You get bit by a rabid dog.
I get that for sure.
That's most likely where it came from. After you get bit by a rabid dog, you yourself kind of go a little crazy. Some people believe maybe even Peter Stubb may have been bit by a dog with rabies, and that's why he did what he did.
Okay.
So that's the explanation. Silver bullets and all that stuff didn't become popular until the Wolfman movie.
What about garlic?
For vampires?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's vampires.
It's vampires. My bad.
Silver bullets before silver
those
bullets.
werewolves really hate that garlic.
I know, right?
Before silver bullets, werewolves are killed just like anything else.
Wait, did we cover vampires don't like garlic?
Who cares? That's past.
Yeah, we're done.
We can't go
that's
backwards.
for me.
How long have we been going so far?
Garlic is delicious. Why don't they
What's
like
our
it?
minute mark right now?
Hi.
Oh boy.
We're going past an hour, so do your thing.
All right.
Your last thing.
Pointing to me?
Yeah.
Does Matt have a thing?
No.
Oh, you're done with your thing?
We're done with Matt.
Oh, shit.
Done with me.
I have a thing after you're done. If
Oh,
we have
okay.
time.
Hold on.
If we
Yeah,
have
no,
time.
We'll have time. This is a Halloween. This is extra
alright.
long. We had to turn this into 2 episodes.
Yeah.
We went on for so long about the ass to mouth. No, I'm just kidding.
It's special Halloween.
Our
This is
episodes
what we're
normally
about.
aren't this long. Will they be this long in the future? But because this is such a
It's
special...
Halloween.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's our first Halloween. It's our first Halloween.
Okay, I already covered jack-off lanterns.
You did cover jack-off lanterns.
Also known as flashlights.
He's good.
He knows my nickname for him.
Okay, black cats.
All right.
Matt, you getting any good texts?
Sure.
He's very into this right now.
Okay, go black
Okay,
cats.
so black cats, superstitions. Black cats. From the Middle Ages, black cats are considered a symbol of the devil. Accused witches. I don't know how to spell. Apparently, accused witches were often found with cats, especially black ones, and it was said that they served as witches' familiar, assisting them in dark magic.
Good on them.
Okay.
So yeah,
So dark magic, black cats. It makes sense.
yeah. So
What's a hex?
Could they talk like Salem from
no, unfortunately,
Sabrina.
What was
I
that?
don't
Sabrina,
think so.
yeah.
Sabrina,
Which was remade recently.
Which was
Netflix.
remade, yeah. And I heard it wasn't that great.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
That was a remake?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
put it out on Netflix.
Hold on.
Wait a minute, wait a
Hold
minute.
on. Matt, surprised to know one, Matt doesn't realize that another Sabrina the Teenage Witch existed? Did you not know this?
Well, I heard like
There was
Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix.
Oh my god.
About a witch named Sabrina.
This is worse than not knowing who Nether Campbell is.
Okay.
No, it's not worse than that.
It is. He didn't know Sabrina the Teenage Witch is a thing.
It seemed a
just
lot more
happens to-
darker and shitty. So.
It just happens to be another witch named Sabrina.
Who has a talking cat?
All right.
Black and orange. The
Colors of Halloween.
Yes,
Yeah.
black. Yes, that's actually what it comes from.
How'd you know, Tim?
Yeah. So black and orange, Bengals colors. That's all there is to that. Black represents the death of summer.
Okay.
Or the boys of summer. Go on.
Yeah. And then orange represents. Hold on. The autumn,
Winter.
The autumn harvest.
Moon, I knew it.
Surprise!
I knew it.
Okay.
So orange is autumn. Who would have guessed? That orange is autumn.
This I never knew. Spiders, spiders are a thing. Everyone's seen a spider.
Yeah, they're not real,
What's
right?
a spider?
Where did the spider myth come from?
I didn't know there were superstitions about spiders.
Bring me the Spider-Man.
So one superstition is told if a spider falls into a candle lit lamp and is consumed by the flame, this is meant witches are nearby.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never heard that before. Another superstition says if you spot a spider on Halloween, this meant the spirit of a deceased loved one is nearby.
Good for them.
Interesting.
So it's like a good thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
it seems like it would be a rare occurrence that you actually witness a spider falling into a candle.
back in the day.
Oh, no, I mean, I saw one the other day.
But still, even back in the day, I mean, spiders aren't just falling into candles. Like, I don't know.
They're not moths.
Interesting.
Like, ooh, look at that.
That's an interesting one for them to pick.
Yeah, I mean, that probably didn't happen too often.
Yeah.
Or maybe it happened all the time. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess.
Here's a tradition. A Halloween tradition, bobbing for apples, which I haven't seen anyone do in probably like...
Since the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, which I watched the other night.
No, because no one bobs for apples because of like all the diseases.
It's very unsanitary.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's horrible.
We're
Charles Schultz, what are you teaching kids?
This is a time of science and reason.
I'm pretty sure I've done this back in the day.
Oh, I did it like in
I definitely didn't like kindergarten.
Yeah,
I
Tim
could hold my breath for a
used to
long
know
time.
a guy named Apples, so he used to go bobbing for apples.
I didn't know where you were going with that. That was actually really funny. Screw you.
Anyway,
Tim likes apples.
in ancient times,
Ancient times.
those are the times that I got from the source that I got.
Let's say antiquity. Antiquity sounds like we know what we're talking about.
The apple was considered a sacred fruit that could be used in fortune telling.
Ooh.
So it was said that the first person to fetch an apple from a water-filled bucket without using their hands would be the first to marry.
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
Zach already knew this.
I did.
Part of this was
knew
already from his
everything.
notes.
Yeah. I know a lot of this because I've already taught this.
Okay, so my very last thing, I've got a whole bunch of stuff about, is Friday the 13th.
Ooh, that's okay. This is what I find the most interesting with my research.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff about this.
Yeah.
So it actually has nothing to do with Jason Voorhees.
No.
Originally.
No
Yeah,
way.
surprisingly. Yeah.
Well, everything's been a lie.
Yeah, it
to
was
me.
really his mom.
Crazy.
Originally.
So, it is said that 13 may be an unlucky number. One of the... Well, it's due to a couple of mythologies.
Yeah, there's a lot of,
Triskaidekaphobia.
yeah, there's a lot of reasons why 13 is seen as unlucky.
Yes. One of which is the Norse myth. North myth. North myth.
I bought the book.
The Norse myth states that it was a dinner party for 12 gods, at which the 13th guest showed up uninvited. That guest was Loki. Loki, the trickster god.
Avengers.
At this party, Loki killed Balder, the god of joy and happiness.
Oh, yeah.
What a dick.
So, in the Christian tale of the Last Supper, I say tale like
Tale like it never happened. in the mythological story of Jesus and his disciples.
Anybody remember that Last Supper comic book?
how do we know the other one didn't happen? So anyway, Judas was the 13th guest. And I guess he was like a thing. He was like the
Judas
betrayer
was
of Jesus or
Yeah,
something.
we already covered that movie.
I don't know. So anyway,
He was Dracula.
so that was one of the reasons like 13 was an unlucky number.
Yeah.
So, however, Friday being an unlucky day may come from that was the day Jesus was crucified.
Good Friday.
It could have been a Friday. No, it was also said that it may have been a Friday that Eve ate the apple. I think that was just like they speculated.
Well, they speculate,
it
but
might
that's
have been a
Were
Friday.
there days of the week back in Adam and Eve? I guess we'd have to ask them.
She wrote in her diary. She's like, "Oh, it's a Friday. I ate an apple."
every time I hear you say apple, I just want to punch you in the face because she didn't eat an apple. She ate a fruit of knowledge. That's a misconception.
That makes you want to punch him in the face?
Just like with I don't know, kind of.
That's what I took away from that whole thing. You want to punch him in the face for saying apple.
I've gone to Sunday school.
Yeah, you would know that it wasn't an apple. Then.
Clearly, you didn't go to Sunday school because you would have
No,
known it was
I
a fruit.
did.
Okay, let's summarize so far what Brad has said. Jesus was a myth. Fridays may or may not have existed, and she ate an apple. That's what BJ got from Sunday school, everyone.
He explained why he gave an 8 to Halloween, too. Let's give him that.
Also, Loki killed Balder. I got that from Sunday school.
There you go, yeah.
They taught that in Christian...
Yeah,
you know.
Sunday school. By the way, do you know what Loki's punishment was for that?
No.
His punishment was because Loki killed Balder. He was chained underground with chains, and you know Horrormonger.
Wait, he was chained with chains?
He was chained with chains.
Wow.
You know Horrormonger, the giant world serpent.
Yes.
He was suspended above Loki as his head was like looking up, and venom was dripping off the fang of Horrormonger, and it burned and gave Loki such pain.
Dude, he was waterboarded with venom.
With venom, yes.
Holy shit.
For the rest of his life, and that's what causes earthquakes, because he's in the center of the earth, and he would writhe in pain occasionally, and that caused earthquakes, according to the Norse.
Oh.
So, you just want to do the podcast alone then, dude? You know everything and no one... Oh, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no,
I'm kidding.
He was so excited when we brought up the fact, like, let's do the history of Halloween. He's like, oh yeah.
I'm Zach. This is how I come.
I could hear his boner hitting the phone.
Have you guys been watching my videos of me?
Yeah.
So anyway, because of these events, we got the amazing horror franchise Friday the 13th.
That's all you got.
Yep, that's the conclusion of all of that.
Friday was also a bad luck day for Christians. That's another thing. Christians viewed Friday as bad luck due to Jesus being crucified.
Yeah, because fuck all my notes.
Yeah.
Oh, you forgot the big one.
I forgot what you said.
You forgot why Friday the 13th is also seen as unlucky. You got Friday, you got the number 13, but something happened on Friday the 13th. In 1306, King Philip of France captured and burned all the Knights Templar alive due to them becoming too powerful. He betrayed them.
Yeah, I did forget those. Yeah.
Kind of a...
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and skip over Tim. No, Tim, what do you got?
I came up because I knew...
Tim has a thing.
I knew I didn't have anything from last time, so I came up with one thing, or two things, actually. It's the... okay, so I want you guys to tell me...
so much?
Because I don't want you to see the
He's
answer.
actually looking at porn
I
on his laptop.
I have got in front of me a picture of boobs. No, I've got I have the top 5 Halloween costumes from 2018, or at least according to Business Insider.
Okay.
That's our first one. So I want to know what you guys think might be on the list before I read it off.
Slutty something. Slutty anything, really.
Slutty Donald Trump.
Donald Trump has to be on there. I agree with Brad. Donald Trump is there on there somewhere. Has to be, but I won't
By
take
the
that.
face you're making, that didn't make the list at all.
Here's the thing. I want to say this before I go. I'm reading over these. I read them over before. It doesn't seem like they're ones that you'd necessarily get. So
Okay, challenge accepted.
Okay.
So BJ's already out. He's at Donald Trump.
Sounds like this whole thing is moot. Like,
Let me do.
I was surprised,
Hold
honestly.
on. Let's do Sexy Astronaut.
oh, they did have that movie that came out recently.
Yeah. I'm gonna say
with,
astronaut,
Ryan
or
Gosling
astronaut,
and,
or sexy astronaut, or pirate, or sexy pirate.
Sexy something.
Sexy something has to be on there. What do you think, Matt?
Okay.
You've been awfully quiet.
Sexy Matt.
Sexy Matt, is that on there?
It's really. You guys are. I feel like after I read this list, you're going to be like, "Why did we even do this, Tim?"
Read the list, Tim. I want to hear this list now.
Sexy Joker.
Number 5.
Joker's
Number
always a
5.
thing.
For some reason, number
I'm
5.
so angry, I can't wait.
A flamingo.
Why?
Number 5. I don't know why. Apparently, flamingos are really popular in 2018. There's just a lot of people dressing up like flamingos.
Alrighty.
All right. Number 4. A warrior from Wakanda.
Oh.
Anybody see Black Panther?
Yeah.
Nope. Warrior
Meh.
from Wakanda.
Never saw it.
Anybody?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Number 3, and this is a big gambit. Any 90s icon. Anything from the 90s. The 90s
That's
are huge in
super
2018. I know. Business Insider doesn't really know what they're talking about, but I mean that's the first thing I googled.
Just get some new sources.
You're on Business
Any 90s
Insider for
icon.
top 5 Halloween
Number
costumes?
Number two. Any character from Riverdale. Anybody heard of Riverdale?
The fuck is
Unfortunately,
Riverdale?
I have. My
Yeah.
sister watches
It's
it.
super popular right now. I haven't watched it
What
at
is
all.
it?
It's the Archie comics, but
Yeah.
turned into like a teenage drama
Exactly.
on the CW.
That
it's a
sounds
huge-
terrible.
I don't know if it is or isn't. I've never
It
seen it. But
probably is terrible.
the high school students and my sister seem to all love it. So,
The Archie comics?
but they're turned into like a more dark and sexy show, a drama. Yeah.
Number one, and you guys should get this just because of the question I asked before we started recording this.
That was a bad attention to you.
Is it boobs?
Tanya Harding.
Oh.
The movie I, Tanya. Yeah? Anybody
yeah.
Anybody even see that? I didn't. I definitely didn't.
I really want to see that.
That was the
I
number
heard
one
it's good.
costume of
Okay.
2018.
That's what Business Insider says. They predict the number one costume.
They predict.
Hold on,
Predict.
they predicted that?
Halloween is tomorrow, guys. It hasn't happened yet, actually.
Well, so for all I know, Sexy Trump could be the number one
Sexy
costume.
Trump
Yeah.
could be, yeah.
All right, let's all dress up as sexy Trump.
But here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's the better one.
All right,
Okay,
here we
that was costumes. Here we go. The last 10 years, the top selling Halloween candies.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. What do you guys think might be on the list?
Reese's.
It's gonna have to be candy.
Reese's might be on the list.
Candy corn.
Reese's Pieces.
Candy
You guys,
corn.
okay, wait a minute.
Candy
You
corn
guys-
sucks.
I
Candy
know.
corn is the devil's candy.
I don't
Here
disagree.
we go about the
Candy corn.
I don't disagree.
It's terrible.
But people like it. For
What
some
about the
strange
candy
reason.
pumpkins? They're like candy corn, but they're the pumpkins.
That's candy corn in pumpkin shape. So
Matt, there's a special place in hell for you.
I said, what about them?
okay.
I didn't know.
I honestly, if there's a bowl of
Snickers.
candy corn or a bowl of pumpkin candy corn, I'll go to town on it. I just
Yeah,
will
I
never
will.
buy it for myself.
Okay,
you
first
know?
off, we can all agree that Peeps are worse than candy corn, right?
Oh, I love Peeps. Get the fuck out of
I
here,
would eat
dude.
a peep over candy corn any day.
So you guys are all fucking crazy.
I'm sorry. Candy corn
Me
tastes
and
like
Brad
a
high
shitty
fiving on the
candle.
Peeps. Marshmallow is better than shitty candy corn.
I don't
Yeah.
disagree, but I'm like,
Candy corn tastes like a fucking candle.
okay, if you look up which is worse, I'm pretty sure Peeps will pop up at number one.
All right.
Those of you
guys
listening
said
at home,
Reese's.
back me
you
up.
said candy
No.
corn's not on there.
Peeps are pretty bad.
No,
Are there
candy
any
corn's
other
on.
guesses
Candy
from
corn's
the top
right
five?
Okay, candy corn I think is on there. That's
No.
my guess.
The
or
best?
Snickers. No,
The best?
the most bought. He wasn't even paying attention to you, Tim.
Top 5 most popular Halloween candy.
Candy corn's... ugh.
I'm telling you, just because you don't like it.
Snickers.
I already said Snickers.
Okay, so Brad says Snickers. You guys all said Reese's, right?
Reese's.
Yeah, Reese's.
Yeah. Twix.
Reese's
gotta be on the top
cups.
five.
Reese's cups.
Twix.
To be specific.
Twix Kit Kat.
Did you forget Milky Way and Three Musketeers?
You've said before we even started taping. You said Twix Kit Kat. Do you think that's one candy?
No.
Twix Kit Kat. That's like two different candies.
No, but I don't know. I feel like those are...
I would like a
those are
Snickers
pretty
Milky Way,
close.
please.
I'm gonna say.
Definitely not Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers.
I'm
is
gonna
on there.
say the peanut M&Ms.
Okay.
Okay, let's see how many of the we
I
just
do
said
like
are
All
on
right,
there.
all right.
And I
Number
hope candy corn is
5.
number 1.
Number 5. Kit Kat.
Hey.
Not Twix Kit Kat, but just Kit Kat.
Hold on, is Twix also on that list, though?
Kit Kat. I don't know. I guess you have to find out. When I say number 4, it's just Hershey's. Just a Hershey's
Really?
bar. Or Hershey's,
Really?
like a mini
Wow,
Hershey's
so
bar.
plain.
Hershey's.
That's like what you give people when you don't want to give toothbrushes, but you don't want to like have
I
them
don't know,
enjoy their
what are you guys
candy.
talking about? Hershey's just regular old chocolate. It's great.
It's not real chocolate.
All right.
All right.
saying.
Number 3.
Gross.
Number 3. One of my favorites. Snickers.
Okay.
The old-fashioned
Satisfied.
Snickers.
Yeah, Snickers are
Satisfied.
good.
Yeah.
Yep. Snickers. Number 2. Little drum roll. No. Okay.
Da-da-da-da.
M&M's. M&M's are number 2.
Swear to God.
Regular M&M's.
Just I mean, I'm sure peanut butter, peanut
People
M&Ms
are
are
so
in there too.
plain.
Son of a bitch, because I know number 1 has to be Reese's. So
And it's actually got the dollar amount in millions people spent on this.
I
I'm not
really
So
hope
number one,
candy.
it
It has
is
to be
Reese's,
Reese's.
man.
I was hoping it'd be
It is Reese's.
candy corn.
number 1 candy.
God, if it's candy
Reese's
corn.
peanut butter cups.
Yes.
Is candy corn anywhere in the top 10?
Candy corn, I don't know. I'm just looking at the top 5 right now.
I
My guess
hope
is
you burn.
not though.
I don't like candy corn, just to clear the record. I'm just saying that I see it all over the place. So odds are there's so much candy corn,
Yeah.
people have to
Reese's.
be buying this shit.
If you, I mean, I don't know who doesn't love a Reese's. Like really, like even if they're
Yeah.
the little ones, the big ones, whatever.
That's my
Reese's,
personal
How do
they
you-
are so good.
How do you,
You
fuck
know-
up chocolate and peanut butter?
You know they have the Reese's cups with little Reese's pieces in them.
Yes, that's like a
Yeah.
new thing. Like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they, have,
yeah.
they have like a
That's-
bar now
that's
too,
like a-
where it's
yeah.
like
That's like a meta mind fuck. That's
Yeah.
so
It's
good.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
okay.
so
Wait,
good.
what do you call that? What's the little things that you put in? That they put in them? Reese's.
Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
Pieces.
Oh yeah. Okay, so me and Brad actually were talking about that. How some people say Reese's Pieces instead of Reese's Pieces.
I say, see, here's the thing.
Word
I'll
fuck.
say Reese's Pieces, like, just in casual. But I guess if you asked me to pronounce it, I would say Reese's Pieces. But
Yeah. Brad has strong
I'd say
feelings
Reese's
on that.
Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
There's a person named Reese that has pieces. So it's Reese's Pieces.
He got really upset when I accidentally let slip Pieces, and like he let me have it.
What are pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
It only makes sense. Okay, maybe Reese's. I don't know. Pieces?
Yeah.
What the fuck are pieces?
You shut your mouth. I'm gonna feed
You
it.
know,
I'm
the
gonna shove full
PC
of candy
generation.
corn. I
It's
swear
the
to God.
Reese PC generation.
Okay, real quick. Let's do one thing. I like how Tim brought some variety to the show. Let's talk about our top candy and go around with top Halloween candy. Our top Halloween candy.
our personal.
I
got a good one. I got a good one.
Who wants to lead off? You guys
No,
are all
I'm not. Don't look at me. I'm gonna go last. Like
Okay.
the other.
Good
All right,
one,
I'll
obviously.
go first. But Tim, I want to fuck your blood. I'll go first. My number one pick for candy. I won't say Reese's peanut butter cups because that's too obvious. Let's do. Can't go wrong with like I'd say Snickers or Kit Kat. I'm gonna go Kit Kat. I like Kit Kat.
Kit Kats are great.
You can't go wrong with Kit Kat.
You know what's weird? You know somebody's a psycho if they get the four Kit Kat
Just eat it
bar,
like
and they just don't break it apart. They just bite into it.
It's in
Like,
the song.
that is psycho.
It's in the song.
That
Break me
is
off a
psycho.
piece.
I've never
But
seen anyone do
Brad's
that.
pointing to himself like he does it.
I've
Get
literally
it.
done that.
That is gross.
Oh my God! You're
How do you do that?
monster. That's the scariest thing we've said all night.
Well, actually, the smaller ones, they come with two,
Yeah.
right?
Still break them apart.
No, I bite right into
Are you
that shit.
kidding me? No, you break
I
this
bite right
apart.
into it.
It makes them last so much longer.
Do you do that to Hershey bars too? Are you just like
I'm
biting into
sorry,
Hershey
hold on,
bars?
Hold on. So I bite into them, and then I bite into them again. Instead, what- see, how is it?
Dude,
It's
you've
still
got
two bites.
you've got a little 2 by
It's still
2
two
by
bites.
dude.
For a
you got
normal
2 by
person,
1
it's like
Kit
6
Kat.
bites.
You eat it in 2 bites, or you break it apart and you eat it in 4 bites, and it lasts twice as long.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, I've seen you down Kit Kats like they're freaking peanuts. So I
How
guess that
many
makes
bites
sense.
does it take you to get in a Tootsie Bar pop?
How many licks? Tootsie
That's
bar.
the funniest line of the night. A Tootsie Bar. What?
So
How many
no
bites
one's,
into
no
a
one's
Tootsie
listening
Bar?
to it right now,
Oh
so...
my
Best,
God.
the best was his eyes when he's like, pop.
All right, Brad. What's your candy?
Skipping over Matt.
No,
Matt
I'm
doesn't do
sorry.
it.
Matt.
Yeah, I'm not here.
My bad. Brad was talking so much. I thought
No,
it
that's
said so.
okay.
What's your number one candy?
Matt, what's your favorite candy?
Matt,
come on,
Matt.
Well, I already said it for the top 5 thing.
Reese's.
Reese Cups.
Reese's.
Yeah, that's
a
I
great-
fucking
it is
love
great.
peanut
I
butter.
mean, you can't
so-
go wrong.
It's America's. It's
Yeah.
the world's favorite candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love peanut butter, so that's my number one candy.
All right, Brad. You say Reese's, I'm going to have to throw you out the...
Actually, I agree with you, Zach. If there's a bowl full of candy, I usually go for the Snickers or the Kit Kats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's my go-to.
I mean, you can't... I mean, if you hate any of those, stop listening and just go away. I don't want your patronage.
If there's candy corn at all, I'll leave.
I agree. Candy corn's disgusting. It's just wax. I get
Yeah.
it.
So we got Kit Kat, Reese's Kit Kat / Reese's or what?
No, Snickers,
We
Kit
all
Kat,
like Reese's. I mean, come on.
Here's the one. Here's the
Reese's.
one, and it hasn't even been said yet.
Okay, it's Reese's peanut butter cup.
Reese's peanut butter.
It's,
Reese's
no,
Pieces cup.
It's Reese's peanut butter cup.
You're acting so racist right now.
And then people say Reese's Pieces.
Okay.
But it's Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay, Reese's peanut butter cup. I'm so sorry, Brad.
Thank you.
Let Tim.
I'm just saying. It's not Reese's Pieces.
God, I cannot wait to replace you. All right.
All right. My favorite. Yes, I will maybe grab for the Reese's peanut butter cup. I might grab for the Snickers. But if there's a bowl of candy there, I am looking all through it for the Three Musketeers bar. That is,
Ooh.
oh my God, so good.
If you can only see my face
So
right now,
good.
I'm
Tim,
cringing.
the Three
I'm with you there.
Musketeers.
I love Three Musketeers.
I love it. Oh
Nougat
my
is the
God.
worst.
So good.
Ugh.
It's just great.
No.
It's like
He just-
so like
Zach,
creamy but chewy. I love it. Oh,
Zach
it's great.
hates Ted Nougat.
I hate
Sorry.
Ted Nougat. I
Ted
don't like
Nougat.
Nougat's okay, but whatever nougat, creamy nougat they put in Three Musketeers is just disgusting. I
So
can't.
good.
Yeah, Snickers
Zero
has nougat.
bars?
Yeah, I
You ever
don't-
had a
Yeah,
zero
I love
bar?
it.
Okay, zero
I
bars are
love it.
okay.
It's not as good as the
Zero-
Three Musketeers, but it's great.
I disagree. Zero bars is much better than Three Musketeers.
Snickers has nougat, right?
Milky Way is good too because it's got nougat in it, but it's not as
What
good as
exactly
the
is
Three
nougat?
Musketeers.
It's
Yeah.
like sugar with like
Goo.
nuts and like something else.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Nougat.
Snickers?
What exactly is nougat?
It's a whole bunch of
It's
shit.
like a creamy. It's like a chocolate that's been aerated.
Well, you have
or
an
something.
iPad with
it's a
your
very,
laptop?
Yeah,
it's a very
I have an
interesting
iPad.
type of chocolate.
Man, you were...
Don't look at
technically
it.
Candy
advanced.
made from sugar or honey, nuts, and egg white.
All right, I believe it because
Yummy.
egg whites make things fluffy. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that.
Still, you gonna pull out
That
your
makes
phone like
sense.
you don't trust me?
No.
All right.
But yeah, Three Musketeers. Yeah. That was Tim's little sidetrack into candy heaven.
Tim, I totally agree with you because I fucking love Three Musketeers.
Oh,
and
how many times can we high five during this one, Brad?
I feel like that's an underrated candy bar.
So let me rehash. Here's a Brad's favorite candy.
No.
Singular. Kit Kat, Snickers, Three Musketeers, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Mounds.
I hate Mounds.
I found one.
No. Almond Joys give you the squirt. Mounds is where.
Actually, I really like Almond Joys.
Oh my
I
god!
love an Almond Joy.
I love Almond Joys.
You had Almond Joys at that party, and I stole like 5 of them.
What's funny was all that was left was Almond Joys or Yorks, and I was like, well, I love Almond Joys.
I love Yorks too.
Well, you can have the rest of Yorks.
I'll take some
Yorks are good after a meal. It's like a mint. You have to have it after like a meal. I'll have a Yorks after, but a Yorks when you're eating candy just ruins the rest of the candy.
Yeah, Yorks are gross.
It's too strong. All right, we got one more thing before we call tonight. We're gonna do our a segment called
Versus.
Versus. Yeah, no, Murder Melee.
Murder Melee.
We really enjoy this one. It's fun. Here's what I want you to do. If you guys have any suggestions and you're listening to this, 2 things. When I post this, in the comments, why don't you tell us your favorite candy and how Tim is terribly wrong about Three Musketeers?
Hold on. 2, is it pronounced Reese's Pieces or Reese's Pieces?
Okay, and then 3, give us a suggestion for the next versus matchup we do.
Yeah, listeners, for real, we would love to hear your guys'
this
matchup.
far in the podcast.
There's thousands of matchups that could be out there. We'll listen to any of them. Please, just post whatever random thing comes into your head for Murder or Melee. That's a great bit.
There's a couple out there.
There's a couple. We just said thousands, but just like, oh, there's a couple. All right, what's the first one?
All right, so we came up with the Cenobites from Hellraiser.
Yeah, the demons, the pinhead, and all that.
Versus, it's a whole group.
It's a group.
Versus the Deadites from Evil Dead.
So who would win, the Deadites or the Cenobites? Who wants to go first and what they think?
I do not.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm giving it to... I'm going to give it to the Deadites, and there's a reason why. Like, no, I think the Cenobites are more powerful, but the Deadites are like cockroaches. You can't get rid of the Deadites.
Ooh.
I mean, how many times is Ash, who's like the savior of the world, who's the chosen one? If you watched Army of Darkness, I think he was actually the chosen one in the second one too, at the very end of the book. How many
in the book, Evil Dead?
No, the book at the end, the Necronomicon. When he opens it up, he goes, "What's my picture doing
is
here?"
there a book?
I was going to say, is there a book? Because I want to read that.
No, you see a picture of him. Yeah. So I'm going to say the Deadites because they're kind of like cockroaches. You can't kill them. They don't really have a corporeal form except for an Army of Darkness. You kind of see, but they can take like a mist-like form and possess. So it's hard to kill something that can just possess something else.
That's a damn good point.
I mean, we're talking to the death. I give it to the Deadites because they can't really die.
Well, do you think a Deadite can possess a Cenobite?
However,
no, because they have to be kind of weak-willed.
I was going to say, I'd give it to the Cenobites.
Why?
They can't die either.
True, but they have corporeal forms, so it's a little. I mean, you have more of a shot.
Yeah, you can destroy them.
I mean, you could. How?
Well,
don't open the box. Done.
Then
yeah. Well,
don't open the book.
What was it in the second Hellraiser?
Okay,
I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what.
Don't open the box.
Okay,
Don't open the book.
Okay, no. Then
okay,
solve the
box.
puzzle. Solve the box puzzle. Then it closes it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, there are certain words you can pronounce in the book that will send the Deadites back.
Yeah, but I mean, only the chosen one can do it, and he doesn't know the words. Remember he made a mistake.
Nickel.
All right, I get it. I mean, yeah, Cenobites are more powerful. I just think they don't have as long. It's easier to get rid of Cenobites than Deadites. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Deadites also.
Deadites plus. I mean, I love Evil Dead. Tim, yeah, I know you were kind of like.
No, don't get me wrong. I love Evil Dead.
No, Brett hates it. It's his least favorite.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm going to go with Cenobites, just because from what I've seen of them, and I need to rewatch both the Evil Dead and the Hellraiser series. But I just found the Cenobites more scary. I mean, that's bottom line.
Yeah, they're
just
probably
scarier.
More scary. I guess if we're talking about who would
They
scare
are.
better.
What are you laughing at, asshole?
The Cenobites are scarier, so they win.
Fuck you, dude. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I mean they are.
Maybe I watched them when I was younger. Maybe it was. I don't know. But I just found them to be scarier.
You're agreeing with me the way you said it. They're scarier.
Brad's switching sides. He's going to be the same side as Tim. Too afraid of Cenobites. Yeah, okay. I mean, I get it. Cenobites are definitely more. I'll be honest, I've never
I don't
seen.
know. Maybe it's because there's just so many zombie movies and everything. But I don't know. It's just.
I've never seen anything past Hellraiser 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've only seen Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2.
Hellraiser just seems really unique.
Hold on, you're not missing much.
I know I'm not. That's why I haven't watched any of them.
Watch at least 3 and 4. After that, it gets kind of boring.
All right, I'll rewatch the whole series. It's been a couple of years since I've seen the original. So, all right, what's the next? So it was a tie, by the way. So why don't we let the viewers viewers tell us who you think this one. All right, what we got for the next one?
This one Tim came up with.
I came up with something.
Yay, pulling his weight.
Besides candy-related topics.
So it was Pennywise,
Dun, 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 dun.
everyone's favorite clown now, apparently,
Yeah.
versus The Thing.
Pennywise versus the Thing. Two shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the popular John Carpenter,
Yeah, let's say his version.
his
version.
the John Carpenter version of The Thing, which is the better version anyway.
Yeah.
Which we will probably be discussing later on at some point in the podcast.
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Kurt
Kurt
Russell, now sporting that Kurt Russ stash,
Great Escape.
is amazing. So yeah, as Tim said, both shapeshifters.
Are we talking about which version of Pennywise? Talking about the new movie, the old movie, or the book?
Oh, now we're getting into some shit that
I've never read the book.
I'm not surprised. Let's do.
I'm getting to it.
Let's
That's
do the new
episode.
Since everyone,
the new movie.
Let's do the new movie since everyone knows the new movie. It's the
I
new
feel like
hotness.
he's more of a shapeshifter than the original.
That's true for some
It's
point.
not until like the very end he becomes a shapeshifter.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's a whole shower scene in the original, but yeah, like when he strangles him as the shower.
I said the Great Escape. I meant Escape from New York. I knew I was wrong as soon as I said that.
Escape from New York and Escape from
As
LA.
soon as I said that.
Both good movies. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Both John Carpenter. That's
And Escape from L.A.
John Carpenter must loved Kurt Russell or something. All right, so
He also did Escape from L.A., didn't he?
yeah, it's a sequel.
That's what we're just saying.
Oh,
Escape
it wouldn't
from
be
New York.
an episode without Matt bringing back something.
Big
That's
Trouble in
great.
China.
I love it.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah. Is that John Carpenter?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
Look it up. Look it up right now. Look it
Okay,
up.
while I'm
All
doing
right,
that,
that's him. No,
who wants to go
they're-
first?
They're
Who wants
wanting
to
to
go first?
remake it, and John Carpenter's like,
So,
stop.
I'm gonna
Dude,
say
you go first, Tim.
I'm a huge. I mean, obviously, you guys know me. I was on the last on episode 4. I'm gonna say Pennywise, just because Pennywise was terrifying, and I think even though the thing was much more mysterious.
Hold on. This is just like the last one. You're going off of how terrifying they are?
What are we here for? Like, this is the Horrormongers.
No, this is an actual battle between them. Not how scary they are.
I don't know what to tell you, dude. I think Pennywise. I would be. I don't know. Pennywise. I'm saying Pennywise. I can't even argue anymore because Brad's just killed my thunder. So fine.
Update.
I'm not trying to kill
Pennywise.
your thunder.
Update. It was John Carpenter. Oh, so John
Yes.
Carpenter is pretty much the reason Kurt Russell has a job.
Yep.
Good for him.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, so Tim says Pennywise.
Kurt Russell is John Carpenter's Robert De Niro to Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how it'd be.
Yeah. Those directors are like, they pick one, they're like, it's you.
Okay,
I
so
like you.
Tim says Pennywise because he's so scared of Pennywise. All right, what do you say, BJ?
That's a tough one because Pennywise is a demon.
Yeah,
Where
or
the
alien,
thi-
depending on.
Well, the Thing is an alien.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are. This is a tough one because they're like two different entities.
Yeah.
I don't know how to choose.
I already got my answer. You want me to go?
Well, why don't you think longer about it?
Yeah.
I will think longer and I will take up more time. I wish I had read the book because I feel like if I read the book,
Yeah.
that might help my decision a little more.
Yeah.
However, I might have to go with The Thing.
The Thing. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we were
Yeah.
on it about the
I'm gonna go
Xenobites, but we are not on it about Pennywise.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Spoilers. When it gets to me, Tim, I got your back.
Yeah. I feel like The Thing would be able to possess Pennywise because The Thing just... it's a thing.
All right.
Well,
It is a thing. It's called the Thing, and it is a thing.
I'm going to go with Pennywise because Pennywise could also be the Thing.
But the Thing
Pennywise
can
can
be Pennywise.
Pennywise can be anything. It's called Pennywise just because it takes the form of Pennywise the Clown.
But The Thing could also be anything because it's like a parasite.
Yeah, but it has to be in like a living form though, right?
which Pennywise is.
Well,
So you're saying that Pennywise being the thing, that's like
Pennywise could be the thing.
That's
yeah.
like the ultimate thing, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zach's making a face like you're all wrong.
Let's hear it, Zach.
No, I just think
The Game Ender.
Yeah, I think Pennywise would win against the Thing.
All right.
All right. So 3 Pennywisers.
That's just because, I mean, it depends, though. I mean, it is beaten by some children, and
That's
then
true.
again by some scarred adults. But
It took a lot of adults to.
I mean,
try
I
to
think
be
it'd be a
the
great
thing.
fight.
it would be a good fight. But I mean,
Yeah.
Pennywise isn't just a shapeshifter. I mean, he's like an entity. He's more than anything. If you read more Stephen King novels, you get more on him. He's like
He's a demon, isn't he?
he could be a demon. I heard like an alien or even a god. I mean, there's different interpretations.
Oh.
I don't know if you've seen the movie when he's about to eat that one chick at the very end. He opened his mouth or whatever, and
In the remake or the original?
the remake, the new one that just came out, you can see these little orbs. Apparently, that's like supposed to be like his soul or something, or part of him. I don't know, but like he like eats souls and he does all this crazy stuff. Pennywise literally thrives on fear, and he can do more than shapeshift. He can change alter reality.
Yeah.
The Thing can't really alter reality.
That's true.
I mean, he literally altered reality. Remember, he came out with the video projector and all that.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
So I mean, I give it to Pennywise. I mean,
Pennywise is kind of like, I don't know, he's like Freddy Krueger, but
Yeah.
with more power.
yeah, kind of.
I could see that.
I prefer the Thing over Pennywise. Don't get me wrong. I love Pennywise.
Yeah,
but
the
I
thing
think
was a lot better.
I think the
thought.
Thing is a better movie, if that makes sense, than
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
Yeah.
I prefer the Stephen
Oh,
King
yeah.
novel. The novel's amazing.
Oh, the novel's so good.
But the movie, I don't know. Maybe because I'm a purist. You know how I'm a critic. So I give it to Pennywise. So me and Tim and
All right.
Matt, where'd you land? Pennywise.
All
Brad,
right.
you suck.
So Brad's wrong.
All right.
what
Bye,
I got.
Brad.
I'm not going to apologize for having an opinion.
Well, you should. All right. What's the? We got one more.
The very last one. So, the last one is Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show versus Buffalo Bob in a fashion show.
Dun, dun, dun,
That's the
dun.
best. That's the best versus ever. I just gotta
Yeah.
say that's hilarious.
Real quick to clarify, because maybe some people don't know who Buffalo Bob is. Brad, who's Buffalo Bob?
He is from Silence of the Lambs.
It puts the lotion,
On the skin.
or else.
It gets the hose again.
See, okay, so here's my quick opinion. So on one hand, you got Dr. Frankenfurter. On the other hand, you got lotion.
Okay, it's been so long. Who was the one who looked in the mirror and said, "Would you fuck me?" I'd fuck me. Is that Buffalo
Buffalo
Bob?
Bob.
Buffalo Bob, yeah.
That's iconic.
I'd fuck me so hard.
That's iconic. You know. I mean,
Oh, and they got that.
the tucking behind and all
Fucking
right.
what?
his dingus,
His winkus.
his winkus, his slappy Sally.
His hang down.
Yeah,
I
okay.
feel like that should be a whole segment of itself.
Yeah. Is it a fashion show? Who pulled it off better?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with. I think Buffalo Bob did it with more. Frankenfurter did it with a lot of flair too. I'm going Frankenfurter. Frankenfurter. He's iconic. I mean, people dress up as Frankenfurter. You don't see people dress up as Buffalo Bob. You know. I mean, they dress up when they go to see Rocky Horror Picture Show at the theaters. So obviously he has something. Plus, I mean, Tim Curry. So Frankenfurter is my vote.
Also, Tim Curry, Pennywise.
That's
Anyway.
true.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Original Pennywise from the 90s
Yeah.
miniseries.
Original.
All right, so I say Frankenfurter. Matt?
I'm going with Buffalo Bob.
Buffalo Bob.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you identify with
Yeah.
him?
Explain yourself, sir.
He fucking wore people's skin, and he
He did.
tucked it in. You can't get more drag
Anybody who
than
can
that.
tuck it.
Because the tuck, he gets the vote, huh?
No, that is true. Like, he was trying to go, like, full transsexual just with skin.
Yeah.
All right.
And he didn't, because he was a man, so he wore women's skin.
I mean, okay, when I say that, yeah, that was transsexual. Where Frankenfurter was just a transvestite.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But, I mean, the movie is wacky. It's meant to be. I mean,
Also I think transvestite is out of date term. It's transgender now, I believe.
oh, Tim, the politically correct police on the show.
Transsexual.
Would you like to
is-
apologize for
Oh, is
traumatizing our
transsexual
viewers?
So you said transvestite.
A transvestite
don't think that's a term
is one that
anymore.
likes to dress in the clothes of
but that's
gender.
as
Is
Tim
that-
brought. This is not the
I don't know.
1960s, so I think we use
Yeah.
gender fluid is like the new thing.
Gender fluid.
Okay, so Buffalo Bob tried to dress as if he was another gender.
Yeah. There you go.
Whereas
Well,
Frankenfurter dressed in
No,
drag.
he was. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he was trying to dress as if he was another gender.
Yeah,
I
but I
don't,
mean,
know I don't know what I was getting at.
I don't know. Well, did you tell
All
us who
three of
won?
these guys are like, I don't want the Tim Ward police here for this
No, okay.
fucking podcast.
I made this one up, but
I'm just gonna bleep it out anytime Tim says anything politically correct. It's gonna be like white noise.
I made this one up, but I gotta go with Frankenfurter because he definitely had the flair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Tim Curry, he was just all about it.
I mean, Frankenfurter had like the hose, and
Yeah.
was
It-
that the scarf thingy majig he wears, the
And
lipstick.
I came up with this before the party happened, and the winner of the party came dressed as Dr. Frankenfurter.
Nailed it, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean, it
Nailed
looked a
it.
lot
Oh
like
my
Frankenfurter.
God,
Yeah.
nailed it.
I think we have a picture on our Instagram.
I
don't
did.
we?
I thought Tim Curry was here. I
Yeah.
was surprised.
What I was told is the guy had never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
What?
And,
He'd never seen it?
No, he'd never seen it.
Wow.
His girlfriend convinced him to watch the movie, and he was like, "All right, I'll do it."
Wow.
Matt left the party early,
Unbelievable.
and he texted me. He said, "Whoever wins that contest, I vote for Dr. Frankenfurter."
Yeah.
Fuck you,
Like,
man. My costume is so good.
Every
Fucking fake news. Yeah.
when everyone voted,
The
everyone
best
was
part was when
Frankenfurter.
the best part's when I started booing Tim and then other people started joining in for some reason.
No, yeah. That was
no.
an incredibly
He had
good
the
costume.
flair.
Yeah. I think it's on our Instagram. If you guys want to check it
Yeah.
out, the Horrormongers Instagram,
Incredible.
we have the pic. Matt's peeing for the fourth time.
It's the classic thing. Matt's got to go pee when we're almost done.
Yeah. So I mean, it's on our Instagram. I think we have a lot of
We've
like
been going for like
pictures.
2 hours now, haven't we?
Hour 45.
Wow.
It's a special episode.
Wow.
Normally, yeah, we have that. We really could record every week and have plenty of
We
material.
definitely could. Or you guys definitely could.
So, but yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, so now I gotta stall for like another 2 minutes while Matt finishes draining the old
No,
lizard.
I haven't said mine yet, though.
Hey, you
okay.
don't care. Okay.
Screw you, dude.
Tim,
I
what's yours?
will also...
It's Frankenfurter.
Word limit.
Yeah. You have one syllable, so...
Frankenfurter. I'm done. That's it. No. Now we gotta wait for Matt. No,
Okay, why
I think
Frankenfurter?
Frankenfurter definitely in a fashion contest. This wasn't about murder or scary or anything.
Yeah.
In a
Buffalo
fashion
Bob.
contest,
I mean-
Frankenfurter for sure.
Buffalo Bob really liked his fashion.
He really liked
He had
his
the dog.
skin.
He did have the dog.
He did have the dog.
He likes to lotion up that
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
I mean, make sure it's
No, I
nice
mean-
when he
I
wears
mean,
it.
Especially after the Halloween party with the guy who showed up in the Frankenfurter.
Yeah,
that
see,
was
like I said,
unbelievable.
I made this up before that guy came out, and I was like, oh, well.
Stole the thunder from you?
Killed it.
Yeah, I was like, well,
Unbelievable.
he fucking
I mean, he was
nailed the
spot
whole
on.
fashion thing.
Yeah.
It was spot on.
Yeah.
It
Next
was
year, we should go
unbelievable.
as the Rocky Picture
we
Horror
should
Show.
all
Horror
be-
Picture
The
Show.
Rocky Picture,
I
the
said-
Rocky
show.
Picture Show of horror.
I say
Yeah.
we all go as Buffalo Bob.
All of us tucked in and all.
I do think we should come up with a really sick Halloween group costume for
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah,
Maybe this
all
time-
Buffalo
start
Bob.
thinking
That'd
right
be
now.
sick.
Maybe this
shit.
time weight appropriate for me, because Leahy's like 90 pounds and I'm like four times
dude,
that.
You pulled it off so well. Are you kidding me? That was great.
No,
I
it
couldn't.
was
I
good.
couldn't believe it. And Zach doesn't drink, and he was playing the drunk all night. It was hilarious.
Yeah, a couple people
It
actually
was
thought I was
very
really drunk
hilarious.
because
Yeah.
the fake iced tea and
Yeah.
all that. People
Oh,
He
yeah.
had
actually,
a bottle of Old Crow
a couple
with iced
people,
tea in it.
came up to me and go, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm just pretending I'm drunk." I had to stop pretending at one point because everyone thought I was really
That
drunk.
was so funny. When
Did-
you
oh, no,
threw
did-
up outside, but you just had a bunch of iced tea in your mouth, I was bending over.
Somewhere there's a
laughing.
video of me floating around where I just chug like almost the entire thing.
Yeah, I saw that. That was fucking hilarious.
I need to find that and post
Oh
on the
my
Instagram.
God. I think Kayla
Did
has
at
that.
some
Yeah.
point someone's like, "Are you okay?" And then you just did like a little tap dance, like,
Yeah.
"I'm fine."
Yeah, like 'cause people really thought I was drunk. Like I was pretending I was passed out with a cigarette in my mouth and all that.
Indianapolis Jones hat.
Yeah, I had an
Yeah.
Indianapolis Jones hat. Of course, Tim pulled off Bubbles like flawlessly. I would say
I
DJ,
wish-
but
the
we all
only
know
thing I
he's
wish-
Ricky.
The only thing I wish is that I wish I could have painted the glasses burgundy rather
Yeah.
than black because
Yeah.
they look a little bit
Nah.
like Harry Potter glasses.
Dude, you
But,
were
The-
Bubbles.
you did the
Like,
chin mouth
And
thing.
then, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
subtle. It's subtle, but you just gotta push that jaw out
that
there.
underbite thing, yeah. No, it was great.
Yeah.
He brought a
We had
shopping cart. It was a great time.
If you didn't show up to the Horrormongers Halloween, you missed out.
Yeah, it was fun.
You missed out.
The whole reason I wanted to do Ricky is because people always called me Ricky.
Yeah,
You look exactly like him on a daily basis.
I said I might as well just do Ricky.
I showed that picture to someone. They go, "Holy crap! Did you guys get the actor for Ricky to be?" I go, "No, that's my friend. He just looks that much like Ricky."
Looks exactly like him. It's great.
Yeah,
maybe I'll rock these chops for a while and see if people will actually think I'm the actor.
Get some.
You should, dude.
Get some
It doesn't look
Canadian
that bad.
food.
Like, it looks good.
All right.
I went to work with these chops in that flame shirt that I had on.
Yeah.
And people were complimenting me so much. Like, people that didn't get the show.
They just thought you looked awesome.
I love the look. I'm like,
Excellent.
really? You like this ridiculous look I
Keep
got going
it.
on right
Apparently,
now?
people like trash.
Fucking keep it, dude.
All right. We got anything else we want to talk about?
I got nothing, man. I'm spent.
Too.
And that's Tim's word limit.
I'm out of here. I just said a bunch of work.
So yeah, I think this is a good place to end. We were almost at the 2-hour limit for a part 2, which was over an hour. The part 1.
Unbelievable.
Oh, there actually is a
We
limit.
can really ramble.
No. We can ramble. I promise you guys in the future it won't be nearly this long. We try to keep it around an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. It's Halloween. We get excited.
It's all the episodes with me in it that have been over an hour. I just need to shut my freaking trap.
Yeah, you do. No, that's, Brad shaking his head like he's worried. Brad really is worried because Tim is edging for his job, and I'm inclined
No
to give
one
it to
can
him.
be Brad.
like it.
No one can drink that much. There's no way.
I mean, Tim's nickname's Tim the Impaler, so.
Son of a bitch! Come on, guys.
I mean, he did come up with the awesome joke, ass to mouth, from last week's episode.
That's an original Tim Green joke. It's not been around for hundreds of years.
All right, anyone have any last words before we call the show?
Nope.
Go see Halloween.
Go see Halloween.
Watch Mystery Science Theater 3000.
There you go.